Welcome in and thanks for joining today's Stream Elements. Welcome in and thanks for joining today's Ian 08. Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Freiburg. Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Clarkio.
What's up, chat? Good to see you all. Happy Friday. Thank you, Frackberg and Sean, for being here right at the start.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, SMC_May_I.
Hey, May, great to see you. Thank you for being here as well. So heads up, those of you that look forward to the intro dance, I'm not going to do the intro dance today. We're just going to get right into it, basically. Do wins of the week, Wordle, connections, words on stream, and then more TryHackMe stuff. I did subscribe for a month at least right now to the TryHackMe Premium so that we can get more time with that. But outside of that, that's about it that's going on. I did get the YouTube chat working through StreamerBot, so that's good. Glad to see that. let's get into it. Am I all set? I think so. Oh, camera's a little wonky. Hold on. Check, check, 1, 2. Goodbye. Welcome back. Now we should be smooth. Ooh, beard. Gotta trim up the beard. Whatevs. All right. Welcome in. Happy to have you all here. Happy Friday. It's good to see you all. If you're joining in, lurking, you got stuff going on. You're just listening in while you're driving. Watch out for that duck right there on the side of the road. They look like they're going to try and cross. Good job avoiding it. Good job. Oh, there's a speed bump. Look out for the speed bump there. Oh, you hit that one. That was a little rough. Bumpy ride now. Bumpy ride. Okay. Wherever you're watching, thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate the support as always, especially from those that have been here for the long haul for things. I'm not doing the intro dance because I was just not in the couple of reasons. I'm not in the mood to set it up right now. I feel like if I'm not able to bring the normal energy to the intro dance, then it's not worth me doing it. So if I can't do it fully and be like into it, then I'm not gonna do it then. You know what I mean? Reason for that has just been like a off week. I know last week I got back on track and the week before that was off. Back to another offish week. Like often not like a terrible way, but just off. Like personal level, work's been fine. More personal family stuff that's just been, you know, little things here and there that have been how do I put it? Again, they're not like huge, terrible things. But it's just been things that have been I don't know how to put it. Just kind of getting at me a little bit, mental wise. And like to give you an example, yesterday I went to go to do a follow-up doctor appointment with not my primary care, another one. And the guy was just completely unprofessional and just rude and stuff like that. Just give you a sample, right, of one thing that's been going on. So that was not fun. And that you know, in combination with a bunch of other things going on, little things that add. It's one of those like death by 1,000 cuts type of situation for this week. Like just little things here and there. There's been ups too. There's definitely been ups too. You know, ups and downs. So I'm talking about just the downs right now to get them out of the way. But that's what I'm sharing with you all, that context as to why I'm not necessarily feeling the same energy today or to do the intro dance and like put on the same kind of show like I normally do. So just a heads up on that. Now, let's move on with what we're going to be doing today. We got wins of the week, so start thinking about those. Get those queued up in the chat. If you got a win of the week, drop it in the chat. If you don't know what that is, use exclamation point WOTW to find out more about what that means and why we do it. A week like today, like this week, is the reason why I definitely want to hear some positive stuff and try to reflect on my own week to find the positive in that as well. So get those queued up. After wins of the week and just chatting a little bit, we'll do the Wordle connections together, that type of thing. Wordle where I'm playing against you all, which I think I'm down by a point or two still, trailing you all. And then we'll get into connections where we play together. Probably words on stream right after that because I have my lunch thawing. It's peanut butter and jelly, Uncrustables, and a banana. Lunch of champions right there. For me, personally, at least. That's a win of the week right there. I'm going to have PB&J today on stream. How appropriate. And then we'll get into the technical portion where we're going to be continuing from last stream where we were learning about pen testing using the TryHackMe.com platform. And then we'll get into, as part of that, so we'll finish that initial module. I paid for the premium subscription for the month so that I can have more time and like access to faster machines on their platform to do the pen testing stuff. And then we'll try out the Sneak ones that I've been talking about. Speaking of Sneak, shout out to my company Sneak, who's been amazing all around in a general level, but also in a sense of making it possible that I can keep streaming on this channel every week. whenever I'm not off or have something that might be conflicting with it. So there's a few exceptions there with that. But big shout out to Sneak for that. SNYK when I say that. I've realized I'm taking for granted, like in my videos that I've been doing for work for Sneak, that I keep saying, oh, you just go to sneak.io to sign up for an account. And I'm like, some people that might be new to hearing that, they're going to be like, Sneak as in sneaky, I got to type in .io. So I need to be a little bit more clear when I do that. So that's what I mean. SNYK. It's a company I work for. It's a developer security platform. Fantastic. I've been using it since before I even worked here, and that's what led me to want to pursue a job in this company. And the people here are amazing. And so, yes, shout out to my company and my leadership for making it possible. Now, that said, everything you see here today on the stream is from me personally and not on behalf of my company. So keep that in mind as well. So that out of the way, wins of the week. I shared one win of the week that I got for you all is I'm going to have PB&J Uncrustable sandwiches, 2 to be specific, that I really enjoy, and that makes me happy. Another positive note on a personal note, family stuff. We have struggled with both my oldest and youngest getting them to bed at a reasonable hour, whether it's during the week or the weekends. And it seems like we might have struck a chord with them with positive reinforcement. And the way that is like another positive. Actually, let me preface this with another win of the week. My Top Golf League started up this Monday. We had our first week of that and practice of it, which was a lot of fun, and I played fantastic, lights out. However, it doesn't count because it's just practice week, so hopefully that can continue on into this upcoming Monday when we start competition. But feeling really good about that. That's another positive, another win that I'm really happy about. Good hanging out with the guys and socializing a little bit instead of just staying in my bubble type of thing. And shout out to Mrs. Clarkio and the family for helping make that happen by being supportive and enabling me space to do that. So that said, I wanted to share that because typically on those nights, the first thing I do when I come home is I ask Mrs. Clark, I'm like, oh, how did the kids do? Because, when you're on your own as a parent and you got one or more, generally, especially when you have more than one child, you're outnumbered and it can be a handful, difficult. So I always ask, I'm like, oh, how'd it go? Even when I'm gone, I'm like texting, like, hey, how's it going? What's going on over there? Just in case, because it's not a priority for me to be there. So if something's like going terribly wrong or that she needs some support, I can slip out, let the other guys keep playing, and then go help out and do that type of thing. So there's that. So anyway, I came home and I was pleasantly surprised to hear that everything went smooth from start to finish. Dinner time, bath time, brushing teeth, and going to the bathroom before bed, going to bed, they were all fantastic. And it was partly because Mrs. Clarkio said to the kids, like, hey, your father always asks me when he comes back from golf, how did everything go? How were the kids? And I really want to tell him that you all were great. So let's do well with getting to bed so that I can tell him that. And then that way he'll be super excited. And so that seemed to work. And then in the morning, because they're usually sleeping by the time I get back, in the morning, I was able to be like super excited with them, tell them how proud I was to hear and happy I was to hear that they did well. And I was like, all right, as a reward, we're going to get you a treat. So like my oldest has been wanting to get, I don't know what it is, but like boba tea is something that she somehow got interest in. I don't know from where or what it was, maybe friends or school or something like that. So she wanted to go out and get a boba tea. So later, I think it was on Wednesday when I was able to pick her up from school and stuff, and we went and got that. So she was super excited about that. So that's a positive, from a couple of positives actually from the week. What's your win of the week? Drop them in the chat if you got something to share. If not, no worries. Hey, thank you for the follow. Great White Swag. Fun name that you got there. Also, Wignesh and Goodbye World, who subscribed while I was off stream. Or not subscribed, followed on Twitch while I was off stream. Appreciate that. So that's wins of the week. Again, if you're new here and you're just tuning in, we start off the stream just chatting like this, where we try to reflect back on our week, to see what's the positive from it. So if you got a win of the week, or you want to know more about what that's for, you can use the command in the chat, !WOTW in the chat, to find out more about that and why we do it. So there's mine. I'm going to pause here, let you all queue up some because I'm not seeing any in the chat just yet. But if you have more to share, feel free to drop it there. I will be right back momentarily here. Okay? Un momento, por favor.
An ad is about to start in 5,000 milliseconds on Twitch. There's an ad running for 180. Welcome in and thanks for joining today Huggins 7278.
All right, chat, I'm back. Also, Huggins, thanks for being here and sharing your win of the week. M. Huggins shares in the chat on Twitch. Finally, really learning Go. Make some changes, rewriting to a CLI tool at work. That's awesome to hear. Congrats on the new.
Thanks for joining today, Jack Comas.
Congrats on the new learning and the new language to use and put in your little I was gonna say like your little tool belt, you know, like, but your skills tool belt there. So that's awesome. Congrats on that, and thank you for sharing, M. Huggins.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Clarky.
Hi, Jack. Thank you so much for being here. Dropping a message in the chat. Appreciate you. M. Huggins says another tool in the toolbox for sure. Yeah, got you. Jack, by the way, Twitch is indicating to me, I don't know if you intend this, so that's why I'm calling it out to you, that you're only listening and not not like visibly watching the stream. So just a heads up on that in case, because I know what ends up happening is a lot of people accidentally have that badge added to their chat identity tag thing that may not have intended for that to be the case. So just a heads up that that's what Twitch is indicating to me in case you didn't want that. But great to have you here, Jack. Thank you for joining and welcome in. All right, so let's get into the next segment of the show. If you have more, but as a note, if you have more wins of the week or you think of one while I'm going through this next segment, you're welcome to share that in the chat. It's not just reserved for the beginning of it. We just decide to focus on it at the beginning of the stream as a segment. So that said, let's move on. We're gonna play some Wordle now. And if you're new here for that, the way that kind of operates is you don't want to help me. That's the short answer. You want me to lose because where is it? Because we're competing. And what do I mean by that? How can we compete? Well, show you. In the Discord, which if you want to join up there, you can do this so with the command !Discord, or you can go
Fritz
to.
just rated us with 53 views. Oh snap!
Oh, Fritz!
Fritz just rated us with 53 views.
Thank you, Fritz. That's very kind of you. Let me just finish this thought, and then I'll welcome you all in just for a second here. So, if you are new here, which is what I was just going through, and I imagine some of you joining from Fritz's stream, thank you for joining, by the way. Appreciate you coming here.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Ilan Vejstuk.
Ilan on YouTube, thank you for joining as well. We play Wordle as like one of the opening segments to my stream since I just got started here. And the way we play it is we're competing against each other in the sense that if I get it in 3 or less guesses, I get a point. Anything more than that, you get a point, or if I fail it completely, you all get 3 points.
Welcome in and thanks
So far,
today, Sharp Fritz.
so far, I'm down 2 points, so I need to really win today so that I can start catching up. So that's what's going on with that. But before we jump into the Wordle completely, thank you, Fritz, so much for the raid. How's it going, buddy? I feel like it's been too long since we've chatted. We should connect sometime. Hope all is well. Hope work is going good, and thank you so much for the raid. That's very kind of you. Jack from earlier says, yeah, I like to listen to streams when I do stuff. Okay, cool. Yeah, no worries. Just a heads up. I wasn't sure if you... I've heard of people on Twitch, myself included, where the badge is on for them, where it says, like, listening only, or... And sorry for the background noise, by the way. So I just wanted to call that out to let you know, just in case. Fritz says, it has been a while. Yeah, we should connect and chat. Sounds good. Sounds good. How are things going? Everyone from Fritz's stream, you all just tuned in at the right time because we're doing wins of the week. If you don't know what that is, you can do !WOTW in the chat to learn more about that. But the short of it is we reflect on the week to see something positive that happened, find something positive that happened in our week, and share it in the community here so that we can celebrate each other's wins, that type of thing. Try to start off on a positive note for the stream. I have had a little bit of a rough week this week on a personal level. What?
5,000 milliseconds on Twitch.
That should not happen.
There's an ad running for 180.
No. Damn it, Twitch. I literally just ran ads while I had to step away, BRB, for 3 minutes. I don't understand this. Sorry about that, folks. That should not have happened. I don't know why it happened. But in any case, if those of you that can still hear me and are not stuck with ads right now, had a little bit of an up and down week. But the positives that I've had was we started playing golf for the golf league that I'm in, and was playing well on Monday for that, and had some good stuff with the family going on with the kids learning and just growing and getting better about things, behavior-wise and whatnot. So those were my wins. If you got wins, drop them in the chat. We'd love to hear them. But if you do stick around, you will be able to enjoy, once we get past this segment, we'll get into the technical segment of the show where I'm going to continue where we started last week with using TryHackMe platform. If you haven't heard of it, you go to tryhackme.com, and it helps teach you about different cybersecurity topics within the space. And so I've been learning a little bit about pen testing. We just started last week. I know a little bit about it, but I mostly focus on application security from a defense mechanism when I'm building out apps. So this is an opportunity for me to go a little bit more on the offensive to understand that side of things a bit more. So that's what we're going to be getting into once we get into the technical portion of the show, which will be in about, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. So if that interests you, I hope you stick around. If not, totally understand. Use your time wisely. Thank you for tuning in briefly here and getting to know me. And hopefully something of interest will pop up. You can tune in the future. Fritz says, kids are amazing and so damn stressful too. Yes. Fritz says, both of mine are in college now, and oh man, does that create a new world of problems. I hear that. I hear that, man. Plus being empty nesters for you and the missus, probably, you know, changes up things quite a bit. It feels different. So I hear you, man. But yeah, they definitely give you both sides of the coin there, where it's like amazing but also super stressful and challenging. It's good challenges though, you know. So overall, positive week, but not as positive as some of the weeks have been in the past. So. Oh, and first time empty nest in 20 years. Got to reset her. Yeah. Yep. I'm sure. Changes the dynamic now, right? So just like when the kids are in the house, it changed the dynamic of the relationship. Now that they're out of the house, it changes the dynamic of the relationship. It's crazy. Crazy. All right, ad should be finishing up for anybody that's stuck with that. Again, sorry about that. I don't know why Twitch did that, considering I ran a 3-minute ad break earlier when I had to step away at the beginning of the stream. So, silly Twitch. All right, starting off.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, SMC Mine.
May, good to see you over on YouTube. Also, Alon over on YouTube is saying, I had a lot of ups and downs this month, sadly. I'm sorry to hear that, but glad you're still here and you've made it through it right now, at least. You're here, you know? What's that extra badge, too? You got a cool badge next to your name on YouTube over there as well. I've not seen that before. I think I'm fully caught up on chat now, right? Elon says, great to see you again. Yes, appreciate that. That TTS. Yeah, the TTS is like a blessing and a curse, right? Because I might be in the middle of talking about something, and then the TTS is like, blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, I want to hear what's going on, you know? Outcast, thank you for the follow over on Twitch. Appreciate that as well. All right, let's get on with Wordle. Let's see if I can beat you. Remember, I have to guess it in 3 guesses or less to get a point. So I also start with the same starting word every time, which has served me well today. If you're not familiar with why I would start with that, try !fart in the chat and you'll understand more. I'm a dad after all, and I'm a fan of dad jokes. We got A and R in the correct position. So S is either in the 4th position or the starting position. I would guess maybe it's like harsh, or it could be like marsh. I might guess that just to get a variety of letters in there. All I'm adding is, all I'll get out of that is whether the S goes in that position and if H or M is in there. What are some other options? Harsh, marsh. Again, you don't want to help me, chat. You actually probably want to try and distract me. We've had folks do that in the past. I'm gonna go with marsh. Send it. Okay, so it's not that. S is there. Okay, so it's got to be harsh, right? Is there any other possibility? Harsh, 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 zarsh. I should have went with. I thought harsh. I should have went with harsh, but I really wanted to get the M in there to change it up and not use H twice. All right, I think it's got to be harsh. Yes. Okay. Oh yeah, in your face, chat. That's one of my fastest ones. I would have been even faster had I went with my initial thought after that. So I get a point now. Eat it, chat. Eat it. We'll edit this message. I'm now catching up. I'm only a point behind. What's today? September 13th. So we'll save that. And then the other thing we do, and this is another reason why, if you like playing Wordle, it's really, for the most, I mean, we have some other folks popping in here and there, but it's mostly me and Rugmat right now, where we pretty much play every day, although I missed like yesterday, as you can see. But you pop it in there. You use the double pipes in Discord, paste in your results, double pipes like that. That way it conceals it, especially if you know the person's starting word, which mine is always the same, as everybody knows. So there you have it. You join up. Join up. Start playing Wordle with us on the daily and stay connected off stream. All right. Now we play connections, which shield your eyes. Sorry. Connections we play together, which is we got to figure out which 4 words have a connection between them. What category kind of puts them together? 4, 5, and I like to shuffle them right off the bat. What do we see? GG, thank you, Elon. Also, am I pronouncing your name correctly? Elon? I just want to make sure I got you right there. Names are important to me, and I want to make sure I'm not messing them up, and I'm addressing you correctly. Huggin says, I got in. You got it in 2 today? Nice. Jack, sometimes I draw a funky cartoony character farting. I call it art. M. Huggins says, I stopped playing for a bit. I got a new phone and lost all my stats, but started again. Nice, okay. Elon says, yeah, you did. Okay, cool, awesome. Thank you for confirming, Elon. All right, moving on here. We are going to... Hey, thanks for that follow as well, Jack, over on Twitch. Appreciate you. All right, so let's see if we can get these connections sorted out, and then we'll move on to... a little bit of TryHackMe, and then we'll take a little lunch break for words on stream and keep things moving along. All right, what do you see, chat? Any 4 words that stand out to you that are connected somehow? Civic, zip, got Jack, focus, giant, cow, refer, life, energy, juice. Juice and zip kind of go together to me. A little volt, maybe a little pep in your step. Energy, pep, zip. Oh, that's a good idea. We got, where was energy again? Energy, pep, zip. Maybe. Like a little pep in your step. I don't know for sure if those are it, though. I don't know for sure. Maybe, I don't know where cow would come into play here. You got a beetle. Beans. Add juice to that, and it might be a winner.
Today, ordinary game of 30.
Jack and the Beanstalk? Jack and the Beanstalk. Oh, and then like, Jolly Green Giant or something like that? Maybe these are like books? Book titles or something like that? Huggins says, add juice to that, and you might have a winner for zip, pep, energy, and juice. All right, let's try it. Send in it. No, we're 1 away, though. We're 1 away. So, maybe Jack, Beans, Giant, and Cow. Things from Jack and the Beanstalk. Okay, let's try it. Jack, Beans, Giant, Cow. Boom. Yes, nice. Oh, we got blue right away. Jack, by the way. No way I traded cows for those beans. You feel like you're getting called out when we keep saying Jack? Okay, what do we got next? So that leaves Pep, Juice, Volt, and Zip, maybe? Let's try that. Oh no, why did I do that? Because we have energy. We already guessed that too, right? Shoot, I just wasted a guess, sorry. Tenant, Civic Duty, Honda Civic, Ford Focus. Isn't Volt a car too? And then a Beetle. I think those are cars. Yeah, car models. There we go. Beetlejuice comes to mind, but I don't know. Yeah, yep. What else we got? All right, so it's got to be Juice, Pep, Zip, Energy, right? We already guessed that. Man, what could that be then? Isn't it crazy? So these are supposed to be, if you've never played this before, the blue and the purple are supposed to be the trickier ones, but we just got those first and second.
Thanks for joining today, Ayush Sharma.
You know what I'm saying? So, no way. How is that related to the game? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Ayush, good to see you, by the way. Level or life? Like energy level? I don't know. These are supposed to be the easier ones. I'm not seeing the connection, though. Refer? refer to. Beetlejuice, apple juice. You gotta get some juice, get some energy, get some zip, get some life to you. Maybe? Maybe? Hey, vitality. Okay. Now, what's this one? Tenant, pep, level, and refer. What could that be about? What could be the connection there, chat? What do you think? I don't see it. Zip? I just don't see it. Weird. All right, I'm going to send it and see what the category is. I can't even guess it. Palindromes featuring E. Excuse me? Oh. So palindrome, you could spell it forwards or backwards, you get the same thing. Kind of like race car. So PEP is spelled P-E-P, forwards and backwards. Refer, R-E-F-E-R. Oh my gosh. Those ones are ridiculous. I'll share that in the Discord as well. We have a connections channel. Drop that in there and then mention that chat helped on this one. And there we go. Yeah, isn't that ridiculous, Mike? All right. So, let's pick up where we were last week. We'll play words on stream in a little bit. I'm not quite ready to start eating something. So, once I start eating, we'll do that. So, let's spend a little bit jumping into this. Picking up where we left off last week, which was offensive pen testing. I think this game is a testing ground for some text AI. It might be, yeah, Ayush. Might be. So where we left off last week with TryHackMe, which again, if you don't know anything about this, TryHackMe is a platform. It is free to an extent, but if you subscribe, and like I'm not an affiliate or anything like that, I get nothing out of this. In fact, I've heard of TryHackMe before, and just last week was the first time you got my raw experience basically. There's the link in chat, tryhackme.com. And we got through the tutorial, as you can see, right there. And now we're 73% through the vulnerability. Learn about active recon, web app attacks, and privilege escalation. So we're going to keep moving through that and see how far we can go. And as I mentioned earlier, I ended up off stream signing up for their premium, which will give me faster machines and unlimited time in terms of access to those machines instead of only having like an hour's worth of time to use them, which we ran into last time. All right, so let's see. So in this case, we need to start the attack box as well. Perfect. And then where we left off was with Burp Suite. We need to compromise the web server. Didn't I have to... Let's start the machine again, too. There we go. So we have the machine we're going to be attacking. We did all that already last time, and we're going to pick up from here once the attack box. So we have basically what's nice about this is you do it all like from your browser. You can, if you want to, do it from your own machine, or a virtual machine that you have access to, that type of thing. But if you don't, like I personally don't want to set up any machine or use my personal machine to connect to these networks and systems without, because you don't know what else other people might be doing in there. They're not supposed to be doing anything beyond, like it's against their terms of service. But you never know. So why not just leverage all their stuff directly in the browser so it's not doing anything on my machine, right? So they give you access to a machine that you use to be when you're in the attacker mode hat type of thing, and then there's another machine that's the one that you are attacking, let's say the victim in this case.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Haircut Fish.
What's up, Haircut Fish? You said, love me some TryHackMe. It's great to hear. I'm a newbie with that. Like I work in the developer security space. Application security is like more of my background. and more on the defense side, but I've not really done a whole lot of offensive stuff. So I'm getting my feet wet, so to speak, with TryHackMe to learn more about this. So glad to have you here to help us out if we get stuck with things or anything like that, or give us a little hints here and there. And welcome in. Ayush says, I tried to test pen testing in networking, and the antivirus started quarantining the software for making a backdoor. Oh, there you go. All right, we're connecting to that attacker machine right now. And thank you for the follow, Haircut Fish. All right, so I'm trying to recall. We can see text and images, copies of the clipboard until I close. Yeah, sounds good. Haircut Fish says, I've done several write-ups on TryHackMe rooms. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, awesome. That sounds great. Also, since you're familiar with TryHackMe, and again, shout out to my company who helped gives me the space to be able to stream on Fridays on my personal channel like this, Sneak, S-N-Y-K, sneak.io. In fact, let me show you really quick, SNYK.io.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Adremen Memes.
I'm going to drop that link in the chat for people to check out if you like to. I have been very heavily focused on our YouTube channel, which you'll see my face. That's not what I was looking for. Go to Sneak. Sec. Let me get a link to this as well for you all. Here's my ugly mug. So if you want to check that out, especially if you're over on YouTube watching this right now already, I've been uploading a ton of content there since April, basically on a weekly basis, and doing a lot of learning or sharing my knowledge about application security.
Welcome in and
Sneak
thanks for joining today, Sam.
over on that. What's up, Sam? Welcome in. Happy to have you here.
Thanks for joining today, Royalty.
Royalty, good to see you as well. Says, hey, I'm actually on the road. Just thought I'd say hi. Appreciate you popping in, saying hi, Royalty. Hope you have safe travels. I Dream of Memes, good to see you as well. Burp Sweet question mark. We got a hacker over here. We're learning. We're learning. This one I'm super proud of is a recent video where I had the pleasure of sitting down with NahamSec and talking about the impact of AI on reconnaissance and bug bounties. That's a recent video we got there. Another one, I mean, all of them I'm pretty proud of, but there's ones that stand out that took, like, either it's just a unique opportunity like that to be able to connect with somebody, a legend in the community like NahamSec, but also, where's that other one? So just go to videos. The one on the PDF vulnerability, PDF.js vulnerability, was like a lot of fun to do the research and test it out and do that type of things. They're all a lot of fun. Some of them are based on blog posts that we have. Anyway, I digress. That's what I do. I work as a developer advocate at Sneak, and shout out to them. And the reason I'm bringing them up is a colleague of mine, Sonia Moiset. She worked with the folks at TryHackMe and set up modules. Actually, I guess I had this open already from earlier. But if we go here, and after I do this beginner type stuff, we're gonna jump over into the Sneak module on TryHackMe, which is free. You don't need a. How do I search for it? Where'd it go? Oh, you gotta go here. Sneak. Here's the module right here. I'm gonna drop that in the chat. So if you haven't checked that out, we will be checking it out on stream and getting a raw experience of, like, how do we do these two different lessons within the overall Sneak module there. And shout out to Sonia for making this possible and happen. So there you have it. Okay. I'll be here and there time to time. How'd the stream go? It's going great. Going great. Thanks for asking, Berlisi. All right, I'm all caught up on chat. Let's try and pick up where we left off on this. So now that you've found a form to upload file, I think I got to get that running again, don't I? The machine is deployed. I got the IP. Let's open this terminal back up again. Can we ping that again? I copied it. It's not going to paste it over here. There we go. Okay, well, that's working. It's up and running. And I think we figured it out. It was like port 33333, right? Locating directories. But we did GoBuster, which I think GoBuster is already installed on this attacker machine. Is there a version of it? Yeah. We did GoBuster. We used a word list. Tried this command here. We copy that, paste that in here. Argument W. Oh, needs an argument? what was that again? What was W? Path to your word list, right? We gotta do that. And then let's use that word list, right? Paste that in as well. Send it. Let's run the tests. And we realize that you can... Basically what GoBuster does is helps us find different paths using a word list that's available on that server, right? So we know that, if we go back to our previous answers, the directory to upload the form page is /internal, which we found through that. So now we need to compromise that server using the upload form. Sam says, I just got my first simple Arduino timer to work flawlessly, and it's a small win, but it feels good. That's awesome. It's not a small win. That's a huge win. Congrats on that, Sam, and thank you for sharing. Appreciate it. Round of applause for Sam. I'm assuming you're sharing that as your win of the week, so appreciate you doing that. And again, folks, if you're not familiar with win of the week, !WOTW in the chat to learn more about that. All right, so we want to use Burp Suite. Let's go applications. Where was it before? Burp Suite Community Edition. Yeah, no problem. Sam. Get Burp Suite opened up. And I know we were fumbling a little bit. It's because I missed the add section button that's up there. Remember how long it took me to find that last stream? Those of you that were here? That was crazy. To my credit, everyone that was here didn't notice that button either last time, so. I'm gonna do temporary project. Use defaults. So we're using Burp Suite here to basically capture network traffic to, which we need to get Firefox open and look. Did it open up Firefox yet? No, it's still spinning. There we go. Actually, we don't need to do it here. We can just have it go through Burp Suite. Let's close this. Open browser. Yes, I understand. I don't want to update. Is it opening the browser or no? You know, some of this is also me learning a little. I mean, I'm familiar with Linux, but I've not. Browser allow burp to run without sandbox. Okay. Settings. Browser. Check that. Close the settings. Now open the browser. Hiding in plain sight. Yep. Should be faster machine. A little bit difficult doing this side by side thing. Okay, there we go. Wait, did I open that up? Is that the? Let's close this. Open browser. There we go. Okay, it's interesting. It goes directly to Port Swagger, I think it is. So we want to go to what is it? What's that IP address again? .10.37.121.3333. I think it's just the API though. Let's see. I wish it would run a little. I thought like paying for premium, you're supposed to get it to where like things work a little faster, but it seems like it's just as slow as when we were doing this last week. May says, towards the end of last stream, didn't you find an easier way for the layout? Did I? I think it was like full screen. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's much better. All right, and then what we could do is we could just go back and forth, right? Exit split view. Or, yeah. Let me just go tab to tab, right? Yeah, that's much better. Why is it taking so long to load? Let's try a new tab, maybe. Oh, because the proxy's probably holding it up, right? Yep, that's why. Oopsie daisy. Can I tell it? I forget. There was a way I can tell it to just, like, ignore for now, right? Hold on a second, chat. I was just double checking something there. How do I tell it to just let everything? Oh, because intercept is on. I just turned it off. All right, bringing you all back in here. Go to burp and click on proxy tab. Thank you, haircut. I just turned it off with this button here. Even on the fast machines, burp is slow, unfortunately. Oh, okay. All right, good to know. All right, so back to what this said to do, right? My eyes are blinding. Can we put dark mode on this? Yeah, much better. Now make Burp Suite. Make sure Burp Suite is configured to intercept all your browser traffic, which we are. Upload a file. Once this request is captured, send it to the intruder. Click on payloads and select the sniper attack type. Click the positions tab now, which we learned that this is a little bit off. The instructions are slightly incorrect in terms of like what tab to click on in Burp Suite. Probably because Burp Suite is updated since this module was written, I would guess. And then we found that add button that was in there. So if we go into intruder, that's great and all. There's the button we missed last time. So in here there was an upload button though. Where's that upload? There's like an upload site, right? Error, failed to connect. Menu, maybe? Where's the upload? Full screen. Oh, my eyes. It's supposed to be like an upload page or something. Or it was like /internal, right? Yeah, there it is. So we learned that that allows us to upload files, and then we can choose a file, which I don't know if it's on this machine. We didn't create it yet, so we need to create a new file in the root with the with this in here. We're going to use intruder, used for automatic customized attacks. To begin, make a word list with the following extensions. All right. So we'll call it phpext.txt, right? So bring up the terminal again. Why did I open up a new one? Where's my existing one? Ah! There it is. We're going to touch phpext.txt. And then we'll like open it in the terminal here. And we'll go in insert mode and we'll do .php, .php3, I think it was, right? 4, 5, and then .html. .php4, .php5, .phtml. Escape WQ, save that. Now we have that. We can add this in there, open, and we'll be ready to like do submit. Let's make sure that proxy is intercepting now, so that when we catch the request, we will This is post to upload. We'll say forward it over to, oh, I didn't mean that. Submit. So we can see it's saying extension not allowed for PHP or TXT even. Let's choose that file again. Messed it up. Click submit. Action, send to intruder. Now we're in intruder. Make this bigger. And wait, no. Is that the one that we wanted? I think we just let it roll. Forward that one. Where's the upload one? Oh, here it is. File name, php.txt. All right, so this one we're going to send over to intruder. Head over there. Close out the previous one. And now what we need to do... That one, close that one. Now what we need to do is change this. And then that, what we'll do is we'll add that around it. And then what did it say to do? We're going to say shell. Shell in front of it, and then the section. We want to see if we can run shell. Oh, not like that. Oops. Shell. .php. And what it'll do is it should cycle through everything from that file, right? Payloads. Payload settings. Do that. Didn't you do that last stream? Yes, okay. We're just getting back to where we were. Clap, clap, a fellow Vim user. Kind of. A little bit haircut. Fish. I know how to exit it. So that should essentially tell it to cycle through and insert the extensions based on this payload. These payloads, right? I forget. How did we do that now? We're in, oh, start attack. The buttons are so small. They're hard to read too. We're gonna start attack, and it should inject 500 tabs of Chrome. I know, Jack. I know. Let's start. Click start attack. Some functionality is disabling attacks or time throttle, which is fine. Cool. All right, so we saw that it works with any of these. PHP 3, 4, 5, PHTML. All of those came back with a status code of 200. Success. That's all matters with Vim. Have you tried Vim Adventures before? It's a gamified way to learn Vim. I did briefly. It didn't stick for me just yet. All right, so now I do want to revisit it though, definitely. It was a lot of fun. It was a cool idea. All right, we're going to use a PHP reverse shell as our payload, since we know that PHP works and can be uploaded through that upload system. A reverse shell works being called on the remote host and forcing the host to make connection to you. So you'll listen for incoming connections, upload and execute your shell, which will beacon out to you to control. You can download the following reverse PHP shell here. So I think if I copy that link, bring it over here and open up a terminal, can I curl it? Or I can just go to the browser, right? And open up Firefox. And paste it in here.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Build-A-Builder.
What's up, Build-A-Builder? Howdy, howdy. And we can download this onto the machine. Let's see where it's located. The one downside of using like their machines is like it's kind of slow, even though you the paid version is still supposed to be faster, but it's a little wonky, like, because you're remoting into it essentially via your browser. So, all right, we got that downloaded now. Let's go back over here, follow the instructions, right? So we downloaded that. To gain remote access to the machine, follow these steps. Edit the PHP reverse shell file and edit the IP to your tune IP. You can get this by going to 10.10.10 in the browser of your TryHackMe connected device. So, closing Firefox down.
Oh snap. Fixit42 just raided us with 5 views.
Thank you, Fixit42.
Fixit42 just raided us with 5 views.
Welcome in everybody from Fixit Stream. Appreciate you being here, and thank you, Fixit, for the raid. How's it going? What's your win of the week if you got one to share? Why did I want to do that again? What we're doing is we're learning about hacking, offensive pen testing.
Thanks for joining today, Fixit42.
Exactly. Yeah, we're doing TryHackMe. Yeah, last week was my first experience ever trying out TryHackMe, and we're picking up where I left off last stream. So we need to rename this file to phpreverseshell.html, and then we got to use the IP that we got from here. Copy that. What can I open it with Sublime, I guess? I guess I could open it up with them too. No, I don't want to update right now. All right, where's the IP in this? IP. And change the port? What's the port? Oh, 333, right? Should it be 333? Oh, they failed to mention that. So should we do 1, 2, 3, 4? I think we should. Yeah, it's 1, 2. Okay, it's already. That's why, because by default it's 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't need to change it. So we're gonna save this. Minimize that. Come back to the browser, I guess. Even. Oh, we need to rename it. Oops, forgot to do that. Rename PHTML. Alright. Upload your shell and navigate to that. This will execute your payload. Okay. So now we're going to go back over to the website. Let's turn the proxy interception off. Choose a file, try that, submit, and it was a success. That's not good, but it's for the victim here. What's up, Sean? Also, you need to reach out to Finite to borrow the Hackerman effect, Clarkio. Oh yeah. Roy Lisi, thank you for redeeming Matrix mode. We're in the Matrix right now, working on this. You were doing buffer overflow stuff. Fix it. Awesome. Great to hear. Sean 08 says, win of the week. I have my new setup fully working with my work PC. Congrats on that. Thank you for sharing, Sean. Round of applause for Sean in the chat. All right, so now I should be able to, let's go to Firefox for this. Open up a new tab here, and I should be able to go to, let's just copy this link. This is where we're going to now listen to incoming connections using netcat. Run the following command in the terminal. So let's copy that over. Netcat. I'm not familiar with netcat, so this is something new. Let's get our terminal opened up here. Paste that in. Let's see if when I go in the browser, now we're gonna. Oh, I didn't upload it. I should have waited. Upload your shell and navigate to that. So we gotta do that again. Let's do the upload again to get it to actually execute. I got ahead of myself there. Submit. Not quite working. Did I get the wrong IP on it then? Oh yeah, this is the IP of my machine. Well, that's right, because I wanted to reverse shell back to my attacker machine IP, right? One doesn't simply telnet into Mordor. Royce says, ever tried to make it expanding instead of going lower and left? We could try that. No, I haven't, but that's a good idea. So I must be doing something wrong, chat. Open up the code here. We have that IP. We did 1, 2, 3, 4. We're listening for connections, but for whatever reason, when we upload it, oh, because I uploaded it, but I need to actually like go to that URL to trigger it, right? To trigger that file, because we'll have access to that. Like this is going to index.php. So wherever uploads go, which we learned from, well, we learned previously. Oh, my history is too far along. We learned before all the different like paths that are available. Close that out. We'll do some of this noise. So in Firefox, we're going to go to this URL. Copy that. Paste and go. And there we go. Oh, there it is. Did you see that? It was very quick, like a snap of the fingers, but we got it. We got reverse shell. So now we're on the victim's machine, LS. We can see everything going on here. That's all. Well, that's sick. I've never done that before. That's all. My first time doing a reverse shell. Yay. Round of applause. You should see a connection. Yep. Answers the questions before. We got that right. What is the name of the user who manages the web server? So I guess we can do who am I in here. So who am I? And it's www.data. www-data. Let's see if that's the correct answer. www.data. Submit that. Oh, that's not correct. What is the name of the user who manages the web server? Why isn't that right? Thanks, haircut, and fix it. I don't understand. What is the user flag? Because clearly it's Carl. It's extra fun to plug in a USB and get that reverse shell. Yeah. Maybe I need, let's go CD to user, LS here. We got bin games include. Is it root? No, right? Because I'm reverse shelled in that as that user that manages. LS home. Bill. Bill is the user. But I guess they created like a contact. Like, what does who am I do, right? You were close with Carl. You were. Can't CD to that. So if we go home in LS, there's only a Bill folder. You're running as the web server, but Bill is the admin. Ah, okay, fair enough. You live and you learn. Bill. That was it. Correct. Yeah, we did that already. What is the user flag? What would be the user flag? All right, let's CD into Bill. LS in there. Cat user.text. And there's the flag. That's what we wanted. Copy that. Paste that in here. Submit. Yeah! Another one down. Task 4, done. Time for task 5. Look at us, HackerMan. HackerMan, privilege escalation. Here we go. Now that you've compromised this machine, we will escalate our privileges and become the super user. Super user. Root. In Linux, SUID, set owner user ID upon execution, is a particular type of file permission given to a file. SUID gives temporary permissions to a user to run the program/file with the permission of the file owner rather than the user who runs it. Muy interesante. For example, the binary file to change your password has the SUID bit set on it, user bin password. This is because to change your password, you will need to write to the shadowers file. What does that mean? Shadowers file that you do not have access to. So I am somewhat familiar with Linux-based systems, but not to this level. The binary file to change your password has the SUID bits set on it. The file with all the passwords. I mean, I've heard of this before, but I didn't know. This is because to change your password, right? So SUID. User is RWS. It's challenge time. We've guided you through this far. Unleash your skills and exploit this system further to escalate your privileges and answer the following questions. On the system, search for all SUID files. Which file stands out? The usernames are in password and the password hash is in shadow. What is shadow though? What do you mean? In shadow. What does that mean? In shadow. So let's do because it's like like ls/etc ecaswd or cat/etc/aswd, right? Okay, there we go. So we have Bill, we have FTP. Can I make this bigger? No. Can I make every, like the view, zoom in? Yeah, I was pressing Control+. Keyboard shortcuts don't transfer over. Like that shadow? There used to be passwords in there long ago. Oh, the passwords used to be in here. Okay, and then this points to where the passwords might be? Okay, root is in /root. Bin bash. Oh, these have no logins. Does no login mean there's no password protection on those? Oh, here's a bug reporting system. Admin varlib_nats. Network management, message bus, DNS mask, SSHD, FTP, and then Bill. I'm not quite sure how to read all this, or how to interpret it really. Go back. Is there any hints on this? I know how to get that up. So if we did something like ls -ltra bin/bash, I guess maybe we could see root, and is that what we're talking? That's the shadow. Is that what we're talking about? Okay, we got a hint. Let's see what the hint is. Use the command find/user root perm 4000 execute L. What in the world is going on here? So it's saying find at the root of the file structure, file system of this Linux machine. Anything that's for user root and has permissions 4000. And then execute ls-ldb, which I guess gives us the SUID stuff, right? I don't understand this curly boys //semicolon. That I don't get. I feel like I read most of it correctly. What do you think, chat? It will show you programs that you can run inherently as root. There's a file with the name etc shadow. Really? cat/etc/shadow. Permission denied. Okay. So if we get to root, then we can see the shadow file. All right, let me run what it said to run though, as the hint. Paste that in. And let's analyze what it from the top. Permission denied. Oh, there's so much it goes out of my memory space. I want to see, because I know, what is it, Chown? CHOWN? Can I specify to see if, like, who has access to run Chown? Chown? CHOWN, like that? Because that's the command you use to, like, take ownership of, or, like, change the SUID on stuff, right? The Control Plus worked on there. Why isn't it working on this? See, when I do that, it's like just adding it in. Nope. Sean says anyone can run it, but it depends on the permissions of the file, whether or not you can actually do it. Yeah. On the system, search for all SUID files, which stands out. All right, let me read this again so I can read. In Linux, SUID, set owner user ID upon execution, is a particular type of file permission given to a file. SUID gives temporary permissions to a user to run the program/file with the permission of the file owner. Okay. So I think what they're getting at is we want to run something on behalf of root that can basically change Bill user to have the same access as root, maybe? This is because, so for example, the binary file to change your password has the SUID bit set on it. This is because to change your password, you will need to write to the shadowers file that you do not have access to. Root does. So it has root privileges to make the right changes. All right, Sean, catch you when you get back. Fixit says, I use this. Find term user equals S. Type F, execute ls minus LA, and then dev null. Add to dev null to the end of the command that TryHackMe gave you. Okay, let's try that really quick. Paste again. And you said to /dev/null. It removes the errors /permissions denied. Oh, okay. So these are the things that I have access to as a user. Well, as the root user. That the root user has access to, and it gives us the permissions on it. We have sudo, change shell, password file, user nick, su, ping, mount. So a much smaller list that you have permissions to. Okay. Here be pizza rise. All right, fix it. New GRP. New UI D map. Maybe that's what I want. User ID map. Let's cat that. Let's learn what these are, right? Cat. Why are keyboard shortcuts don't work in terminal on Linux? Whoa. Okay, maybe that's not what I want to do. Oh, I lost the shell. All right, so we got to run that again. I lost my reverse shell. Get it back. Like crashed the terminal, I guess. There we go. Term environment variable not set. In case you need to use Control Shift B. Oh, really? Do I copy this? See, it works there. So in here, if I did Control Shift B. Oh, thanks for that. Oh no, that's why I press Control C and it keeps breaking me out of my Okay, there we go. I gotta stop pressing Control C. All right, getting back to what we're doing here. I'm kind of stumped right now, to be honest with you all. Oh, is this about to end? No, it expires in an hour and 17 minutes. We're good. On the system, search for all SUIDs. Which one stands out? All right, so if we do that again, what was the command we ran last? Okay, that's not working. Yep. Where's the hint again? Copy that. I'm learning that. Like, that's new to me. Paste that in, and then we do two, and then we go /dev, no, which tells it to just save it nowhere. All right, which one seems the most interesting? I was originally thinking this one?
Welcome in and thanks for joining today Code with CN.
User group owner. What's up, Coachon? User group owner. UGO. OG. You just have a reverse shell, not a full, so some commands won't work for you. Oh, right. Good call. I was forgetting that aspect of it. Haircut fish. Oh, new group? New group, maybe? I have a post-it note for that. The permissions are UGO, user group, and owner. Okay. So I need to start like looking these up. Linux. What does new grp do? What? Simple. Changes the user's real group identification. Scroll down to the bottom of the list. Why is that? Haircut fish. What does SU do? Switch user or substitute user. Oh, so if we want to become root, we need to use SU so that we can switch. We do SU root. SU must be run from a terminal. What am I doing right now? Who am I? Like sudo the utility enables the user to run commands under a different account. Is that the one I want? Because we basically, where was our objective again?
Welcome in and thanks for joining today Turbo Chiferi.
We want to ban that user. We want to On the system, search for all SUID files. Which one stands out? What is the root flag value? I'm not understanding this. Maybe I'm dumb. Do we want to change the root password? Is that what we're trying to do? Or change the password of the current user? And the way we do that would be through that shadow file, right? I need to write to the shadowers file that I don't have access to. I need to get to that. The shadowers file. Does it even list that somewhere? No. I'm getting kind of hungry, chat. I might want to take a little break to eat. Especially since I'm stumped right now. I need to access the shadowers file, change the root password, but I don't have root. Unleash your skills, but you didn't supply me with the skills to get this far. And off to another meeting. All right, Coach on. Try system CTL. Okay, wait. What does system CTL do? Manages the system system and service manager in Linux. It lets users control and manage system services and units with the commands to start, stop, restart, and check their status. Okay. I think the reason I'm struggling on this is my lack of knowledge in Linux. You know? Linux, what does system do? So let's do like Linux access shadow file. Videos on it. Standalone Linux system saves username and password in separate files. It saves login information in ATC password file. It saves password information in ATC shadow file. It uses usernames to map entries of both files. In early versions, Linux used only one file to save both types of information. It saved it all in password file. Later, due to security and scalability, okay, fair enough. I'm learning. You know, I always wondered why. So I would see like demos and videos, and people will be like, "Oh, I got access to pass WD," and I'm like, "But I don't see any passwords in that. So like, why is it a big deal?" But that's the start of it, so that you know the users, and then you use that to map to the shadow, like the correct entry in the shadow file is what I'm getting, I guess. Shadow file. Let me make this bigger so you all can read this too. Oh, I didn't mean to click on that. Translate user ID to username. Because of this, the password file must be world readable. This requirement creates security risk. A hacker can obtain a copy of ETC password file and read passwords. Although passwords are encrypted, it is possible to read them using the following method. The hacker can generate all possible passwords using a password cracker tool, encrypt them using the same algorithm as the system, and compare them to the encrypted password saved in the ETC password file. Unlike ETC password file, the shadow file is not world readable.
Thanks for joining today, Ruman 67768.
What's up, Ruman? Ugh. You suck. Fix says back. Can you lower the music a bit? Hard to hear. Sure. Appreciate the feedback. How's that? What's up, May? Yeah, no problem. Fix it. You may be able to inherit use the inherit root privilege to switch user. Maybe. This is where I wish, like, for someone that's more beginner like this, that for them to, you know, jump into that, these hints aren't really helpful. Oh, hey, oh. Just what you were saying. Fix it. Or haircut, right? It was. Haircut was saying try system CTL. On the system, search for all SUID files. Which file stands out? What is... Why would that matter, though? System CTL. Show me everything that's running, huh? There's a site called gtfobins.github.io. You can compare the list of SUIDs to this list to find useful stuff. gtfobins.github.io. Is a curated list of Unix binaries that can be used to bypass local security restrictions in misconfigured systems. The project collects legitimate functions of Unix binaries that can be abused to break out restricted shells, escalate or maintain elevated privileges, transfer files, spawn, bind, and reverse shells, and facilitate the other post-exploitation paths. It is important to note that this is not a list of exploits, and the programs listed here are not vulnerable per se, rather is a compendium about how to live off the land when you only have certain binaries available. Okay. System. This example creates a local SUID copy of the binary and runs it to maintain elevated privileges. To interact with an existing SUID binary, skip the first command and run the program using its original path. Sean says, the fun of getting calls from vendors we work with. We meaning the larger company, not my team. Yeah, I got you. I need a little more guidance from TryHackMe here on this. I mean, I'm sure I can just get the answers and like move on, but I really want to understand like how this is working. So if I use this hint and I say, oh, this is going to be this one, see if that's correct. Yeah, that was correct. How am I supposed to know though? Search for all SUID files. I still don't quite understand this. Set owner user ID upon. Oh, so when you're all right, when you run any files that are SUID type files. So system CTL. Let me know if I'm getting this right, chat. Those of you that are smarter than me and more knowledgeable than me in this. So basically, we list out all files that use this type of approach, where when they're being run or accessed from the terminal, you set which owner to run as when you execute it. That's what we're searching for. Any files on this Linux system that are enabled that are run by telling who the owner user ID should be used when running that program, right? That service or whatever it is. So it gives temporary permissions to a user to run a program as file with the permission of the file owner rather than the user who runs it. Okay. So what I should be able to do is run systemctl as root. So I need to learn how to use systemctl. How to use system CTL. I'm not familiar with how to do that. I have to head out, says Haircut Fish. Awesome job so far. Best of luck pushing on. Appreciate that. Fixit says there's a search on the site. Hope you have a good rest of your Friday and weekend, by the way, Haircut Fish. I'm glad you were here to stop by for a bit. There's a search on the site I sent you. Wait. All programs with SUID can't be used, but some are vulnerable, and the GTFO bins page tells you how to use them. Oh, let's go back. So if we do this, yeah, so what I did was I went to that, but then instead I searched for the system CTL, and I click on that. So this is telling me what to do then? Right here. Follow these instructions. What is it doing though? No TTY present in AskPass program specified. Because I'm not root. The binary is allowed to run as a super user by sudo. It does not drop the elevated privileges and may be used to access the file system escalator maintain privileges. Skip the first line is usually how to set up a test one. Oh, okay. So I'm going to go and do this. Okay. Then we're going to echo service. What? They put me into like a text because this one, I don't think this is what I want. I don't think I'm doing the right thing here. No. Still a bit harder to hear. I'll turn it down more. Anybody else feeling the same way? Fragberg, win of the week. The nightmare has ended and I'm back home. Thanks for keeping me company on my drive. Glad to hear that. Yeah, maybe it just, yeah, I don't know. Fix it. Turn me up. Anybody else experiencing audio issues with me hearing me over the music? Let me know. No audio issues by you, Sean? Okay. So double check on your side. Fix it. Maybe you gotta turn me up somewhere. Something's not right on your end. Do you have music playing on your system while you're watching the stream? Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know how to exit this now. I'm in some type of... Can I control C? Ah, dang. Okay, that's not working. Control D. Oh. Yeah, well, I already backed out of that. Is this just a typo here? That little apostrophe? The first thing I tested was to mute your stream, of course, and it all went quiet. Understandable. TryHackMe. Give me some more, like, help, man. Hey, no worries, Releasy. Good to see you. Welcome in. Oops. How to you? Yeah, let's do it again. Gosh, cookies. Let's just take a quick break. Dance time? I'm not set up to do the dance, Sean. I didn't even do the dance at the beginning of the stream, unfortunately. So I'm going to give you your points back. Jack says to hydrate. Thank you, Jack. Cheers. Yeah, it's been an off week, Sean, so I was like, I'm not bringing the right energy to do the intro dance type of thing. Fixa says, have to go get my oldest some more pizza, then I'll take a look at it. Oh yeah, no worries, Fixa. I appreciate you helping out as best you can. Release says, I finished the community sneak one. Sad it doesn't have anything with machine, more like answering and questions, but they were insightful. Oh, really, Release? Okay. I thought they had like more of a machine thing where you use like sneak to find vulnerabilities and maybe you attack the machine or the app rather, and that kind of thing. I guess I gotta learn more about Linux in order to really understand what to try and target here, right? What is the root flag value? That's not a good hint. For me, this is not exactly beginner friendly. Maybe we'll just Google privilege escalation Linux SUID.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Cypher Enigma.
What's up, Cypher? Have you done a search for SUID files? Yes, we did that before. And we were using this hint. And I copy that and I paste it in here. And I add the little to dev null to eliminate any errors. And we could see that and all these other options. I'll make it a little bit bigger so we can see more at once. So these are all the files that SUID. Those are all the files that have SUID file permissions given to them. Sorry, I'm just reading and thinking in my mind. So we don't have, I mean, user bin password. Is that listed on there? It is. But for some reason, this is the most interesting one, according to the TryHackMe lesson. On the system, search for all SUID files. Which file stands out? I don't know why this one stands out, because I'm not familiar with what to do with system control. Let's do system, yeah, CTL. Oh, is this going to show me a Medium article on it? Gosh, Medium. Oh, this kind of steps you through it, huh? Okay. All right, now we need to escalate our privileges to access the root. First, check what we can run as sudo. Sudo -l. That doesn't work anything. We get an error as the shell is not stable. No TTY present and no ask-pass program specified. When we get the reverse shell to the web server, we are user www.data, which we learned that earlier. Oh, I'm in the way of this, huh? I just don't want to like reveal too much ahead of. I want to like learn it. I don't want to just get the answer, you know? So we got that error. We understand. When we get the reverse shell to the web server, where that user which has least privileges who can't run sudo. This is good from a security point of view. Read more about it, right? Our next step would be finding files whose SUID is set. Allows user to run binary with owner privileges. Okay, so they're saying to run this instead. Let's copy that and try that. All right, so find anything in the root directory for user root where they have this permission of 4000. I don't understand what that means, but okay. And then print it out. Anything that's an error, which I assume like, is it like exit code 2 or something like that? Then just send that to dev null, which is a void, a black hole, right? So, it tells me right here, search in root directory, user uname file is owned by username. Okay, so search for files in the root directory owned by root. All the permission bits mode are set for the file. Print the full file name on the standard output followed by a new line. 2, for standard error redirection, you can call it a black hole. Like I said, yeah. 2 would be standard error. Okay, 2 means standard error. Got you. Okay, so we get all that. Cool. We got like the same results as them. Here, systemctl looks suspicious as it is a crucial process which should be handled by system admin only. I found the privilege escalation technique to exploit systemctl. You should read this great write-up of Samuel Wang. Okay, so basically you search for exploitation. But why does that stand out? I'm not familiar with the systemctl as much. Let's go back here. It lets users control manage system services. Okay. Sean says because the permissions say anyone can run it when you shouldn't be able to. Well, this says... Oh, the permission flag is saying anyone can run these? Is that what you're getting at? Freaking cookies. Yes. Okay. Go back to what they were saying in here. Perm mode. So permissions. All the permission bits mode are set for the file. Okay. That's what I'm grepping from your medium article. Okay. My command was better. There you can see the permissions. What was your command again? Do I still have that in the memory here? No. Dang it. Send that. Oh, no. Okay, there we go. First, find the directory where we have permission to create file. Remember, we are www data. We'll use temp directory. Okay. Create a custom service which will initiate the reverse shell. Don't forget to... Alright, let's read the article above. The S in the beginning is the SUID permissions. Gotcha. Wait. I'm gonna go to this. Alright, the binary systemctl is a process that exists in Linux operating systems that is used to start different services, such as Apache servers and whatnot. Because of the level of impact that systemctl can have on the system, it's generally reserved for privileged users, such as system administrators. There are instances where permissions for systemctl may be misconfigured, allowing for opportunities to leverage it into privilege escalation. For example, there may be entries in the etc sudoers file that allows a low privileged user to execute systemctl with root level privileges. Or it may be configured with SUID permissions, which provides low privilege users access to the binary. Sorry, that's what we're discovering here. System CTL has SUID permissions on it. So in this blog, we're going to discuss how to do this, assuming you have privileges to access System CTL. Royally says, weird, System CTL executable from anyone. Haven't seen that in a while. Okay, there you go. Creating systemd unit files. First, we're going to create a systemd unit file, which is where systemctl references when starting a service. A good reference on the structure of this file is located here. And this is like, we went from like 0 to 100 real fast. I'm not sure I don't think this is this is not me. I'm not complaining. I'm just expressing feedback on this. For somebody that's completely new, okay? We went from like, okay, this is not too bad. I'm learning how to use Burp Suite. I can handle that, to like privilege escalation at a really deep operating system knowledge level. That to me, that's advanced, right? Like, would you all agree? I chose intermediate? Maybe last week I did, right? I should have chose beginner, I guess. Why did you start with that room? Well, basic computer exploitation, complete beginner. Wait a sec. I chose complete beginner. Chat. Somehow I was steered wrong. Okay, maybe my sign up was intermediate in terms of like my experience I put, but there's 2 paths before complete beginner. Is there really? Fixit 42? Oh man, I jumped way ahead then, I guess. That's my bad. That wasn't clear to me. I guess we could save our progress here. Let's terminate. I don't want to terminate the machine and start all over. All right, let's just follow what's going on here. We first need to find a writable directory on the target file system. In this case, I use my current user's home directory and called the file root.service. The content of the file is displayed below. See, like, how'd you know to do that? Home slice. You gotta know what the contents of this looks like and whatnot. Not very logical. Yeah. Yeah, there are many other privilege escalation methods that are way more beginner friendly. All right, walk me through it, Roy Lisi. What can we do with systemd or systemctl? Let's try this. TryHackMe guide. What are we on? Vulnerversity. How do they spell it? Vulnerversity. That's what it was. Vulnerversity. Let's try this one, maybe. Abdullah. Oh my gosh. So many. We did all that already. Did all that already. Yep. The complete beginner is not for a complete beginner. Clearly. All right. We got reverse shell. Yep. Get a user flag. Now let's find the user flag. Yep. Bill. We found a user named Bill with the home directory. Let's enter Bill's home directory with CD. LS user. Yep, we did all that. Yep. Okay. Cool. Now privilege escalation. All right. Find initiates the search command. / specifies the starting point of the search from the root directory. User root searches for files owned by user root. Yep. All right. This looks for files with the set UID bit set. The 4000 flag specifically searches for files with the set UID bit enabled for the user. Okay. That like this is where I'm like, where would I have known that from? Which means it will find files that have the permission bit set to 4000 set UID. Okay, so bit 4000 is the bit for what we in like English language set UID permissions. prints the location of files that match the criteria, and then dev2 null. Okay. So we do that, and systemctl has the setup ID bit and is susceptible to exploitation. So let's abuse it to escalate the privileges from the regular user to root, potentially compromising it. It's not common that systemctl binary has that kind of permission. So that's why it stands out. Let's try doing this by opening nano editor in terminal. I just create a simple root service to escalate privileges as shown in the image below. All right, I'll just follow along, but I don't really understand what this is doing. It's creating its own custom service. So we're going to nano root.service. Unable to create directory. All right, because we got to go to, let's cd temp nano root.service. Oh, touch root.service. And then let's do vim again. Root.service. Output is not. Oh, that was weird. Why did that not copy right? Oh my gosh. I'm in insert mode. Why is it doing this? Pain in the butt. Escape? What? I can't exit Vim. I can't exit Vim! What the hell happened? Oh man, I gotta do the whole reverse shell all over again. Listen. Refresh. cd temp. ls. System private. What the hell? Vim root.service. What is this warning? Just read only. Alright, let's just quit, I guess. What the heck is going on? So weird. Stretch time? Alright, we'll take a little stretch break here. Royalista says boil meant other methods. Systemctl ain't one of them unless they have some easy service to exploit that runs through it, but you basically using two apps at once in this case. Yeah. This is just way over my head. Maybe we just need to like let this one go and come back to completing it another time and like try to get to the more beginner ones. Let's do a quick stretch that Jack just redeemed. Thank you for redeeming that, Jack, by the way. Let me double check work real quick. Save that for later. I'm gonna do a quick potty break too. All right, we'll be right back, chat. So really quick before I leave you hanging wondering what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a quick break so I can go to the bathroom. I'll be back in about 3 minutes because I'm gonna let Twitch run its ads so we get more space where people don't get hit with ads as much. When I come back, we will do the stretch that Jack requested, and then we will switch to a more beginner friendly module. Okay, so in fact I'm going to terminate this target. We'll terminate that machine. We'll leave our attacker box open, and we'll come back to this when we have more experience. So let's get that set up actually first. Basic. What are the modules before this? This is a machine that allows you to practice web app hacking and privilege escalation. Maybe we do that one right here. Need to know shells. All right, let's go to this. Once you have initial access on a machine, learn how to escalate your account privileges to root. All right, what the shell? Common Linux privileges. Okay, this is the one we want. I think we want to do this. Right, chat? It's just Vim's thing that someone opened it but didn't close it properly. I got you. Okay. All right, so we're going to jump into some of this stuff. An introduction to sending and receiving reverse/bind shells when exploiting target machines. Okay? We'll jump into that when I get back. Okay? Quick BRB. When I'm back, we'll do a stretch. And then You know, actually, what we're gonna do is I need to eat. I'll start eating while the BRB is going. Okay. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna keep going with this stuff and have some fun and keep learning. All right. BRB.
An ad is about to start in 5,000 milliseconds on Twitch. There's an ad running for 180.
All right, chat, we're back. We're going to do the stretch now from Jack, which puts us in the gym. Thank you for redeeming the channel points. reward of Stretch Jack. Follow along at home. Those of you that are watching, you can sit down, stand up. It's all doable from the comfort of wherever you are. Especially if you're in public. It's a great thing to do. All right, you're going to have your arms out, parallel to the floor. Pull them a little bit back behind your back. And then do a thumbs up. And you need to do a thumbs up with, like, fingers clasped into the palm of your hand like that. Thumbs up, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to slowly rotate your thumbs down. And be sure to do it slowly. It's going to be kind of painful. If you've never done it before. Rotate them back up. Rotate them back down. All right, good. Shake it out. All right, now we're going to do one for carpal tunnel. You push your hands towards each other. Back on the hands back to back. Push towards each other. Bend at the wrist a little bit. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Jack. I know it's really realistic gym background. I'm just sitting on the floor on the bench right near the camera, and all that stuff is behind me. Bend at the wrist and hold it there for a little bit while pushing towards each other. Shake it out. It's good for carpal tunnel. And then just, whatever other stretches you want to do. Pull it forward. Hands clasped in front of you. Behind the back. Stretch. Oh, good stretch break. Oof. All right, thank you, Jack. Appreciate that. Hope you stretched along with us. And let's get back into it. All right, so let's start off with what the shell. Yep, we're going to use cookies. All right, before we can get into the intricacies of sending and receiving shells, it's important to understand what a shell actually is. We can probably skim through this. The bulk of the room is made up of information with examples given in code block screenshots. There are 2 VMs, 1 Linux, 1 Windows. In the last 2 tasks, these can be used to practice techniques demonstrated. There are example practice questions, test 13. Feel free to work through these or follow along with the test as you complete them. Without further ado, let's begin. Read and understand the introduction. Complete. Tools. We got Netcat. Okay, this is good. Netcat is the traditional Swiss Army knife of networking. It is used to manually perform all kinds of network interactions, including things like banner grabbing during enumeration. But more importantly for our uses, it can be used to receive reverse shells and connect to remote ports attached to bind shells on a target system. Netcat shells are very unstable. Easy to lose by default. Oh, okay. So that's probably why we were getting disconnected and whatnot, but can be improved by techniques that we will be covering in an upcoming task. Okay, cool. What's harder? Fix it. Roly says, any plans to get a VM? I thought you said you were going to do that so you don't have issues with the whole online VM thing. Well, I had mentioned I'm either going to get a VM or I'm going to subscribe to the TryHackMe thing. And what I did was I decided to subscribe to them so I get a better VM from them. Because I don't want to get to where, like, if I spin up a VM, then I got to worry about managing that and making sure I'm setting that up in a secure way while connecting to this while also publicly working from it, right? And I don't want to do that. Whereas when I'm working within the confines, the sandbox of TryHackMe using their systems and services, then that to me alleviates a lot of the pressure and the paranoia that I have that I'm not going to be exposing anything or leaving myself personally vulnerable by working within their system versus setting up my own, So that's why I'm going this route right now. If I was working off stream, sure, I'd be happy to do that because then I have I don't have people watching over my shoulder or maybe looking at the recording of this later on that want to do something malicious towards me for whatever reason or another. You know what I'm saying? Which why you would want to do that, I don't know. I'm a nice person, but some people are like that. Whether somebody's nice or not, they're going to attack anybody they can. So I try to err on the side of caution with that. All right, SoCat is like Netcat on steroids. Someday I'll get you. I mean, Sean, that's not nice. Don't take advantage of my kindness, Sean. I met you in person, okay? It's at a different level. All right, it can do all of the same things and many more. SOCAT shells are usually more stable than netcat shells out of the box. In this sense, it's vastly superior to netcat. However, there are two big catches. The syntax is more difficult. Netcat is installed on virtually every Linux distribution by default. SOCAT is very rarely installed, but okay. There are workarounds to both of these problems, which we'll cover later. Both SOCAT and netcat have an EXE version for use on Windows too. Nice, okay. I know. Heart, yep, right back at you. Metasploit multi-handler. The exploit multi-handler module of the Metasploit framework. So if you don't know, Metasploit is like a piece of software that you can use to... I don't think have I ever used it before? I'm just aware of it. I've never used it. I don't think I've ever used it. I've used Burp Suite before, but not Metasploit. One of the Metasploit framework is like SOCAT and netcat, used to receive reverse shells. Due to being part of the Metasploit framework, multi/handler provides a fully fledged way to obtain stable shells, okay, with a variety of further options to improve the caught shell. It's also the only way to interact with a murderperter. Meter preter? How do you say that, chat? Shell. Interact with a meter preter. Metapreter shell? Meterpreter shell? That is a wow. My brain, you're getting a little insight into my brain, and like I'm speaking out loud what goes through my brain when I'm reading in general. And if a word like that comes up, I'm sitting there for a good minute just like,
Welcome,
what am I reading?
Thanks for joining today, Goosey Def.
Meter preter. Goosey Dev, welcome in. First message in the chat, and you're liking how I'm pronouncing that? Well, how would you pronounce it? Are you laughing at how I'm pronouncing that? That's okay. I'm not mad at you or anybody for laughing at me in terms of how I'm pronouncing that. But I really want to know, like, how should I pronounce it? Metapreter? Murderpreter. I don't know about that. Just sounds okay. Fair enough. Royalista says, would you like to download this very safe application of mine and disable Defender because it's me? No, Royalista. Nope. Not gonna happen. Okay, time to get some food before my next meeting. Catch you later. All right, Sean. Enjoy your food. Enjoy your meeting. And if I don't see you, have a good rest of your Friday and weekend. The funniest way, of course. Meter preter? All right, if you want to interact with a meter preter shell, and is the easiest way to handle staged payloads, both of which we will look at in task 9. Okay. Misvphenom. Okay, never heard of that one before. It's like multi/handler. Misvphenom. Misvvenom. Miss F Venom. Miss F Venom. That sounds like a superhero villain. Superhero movie villain. MSF Venom. I'm gonna go with Miss F Venom. Miss F Venom is technically part of the Metasploit framework. However, it is shipped as a standalone tool. Miss Venom is used to generate payloads on the fly. Whilst MS Venom can generate payloads other than reverse and bind shells, there are what we will be focusing on in this room. These are what we... Oh, okay. Is an incredible, powerful tool, so we will get into this application in much more detail in a dedicated test. I feel like I need to double check. Let's go back here. In simple terms, we can force the remote server to either send us command line access to the server, a reverse shell, or to open up a port on the server which we can connect to in order to execute further commands, a bind shell. Okay, that I didn't know what that, like, the difference meant. So we tell the server to send us command line access via a reverse shell, or we tell the server to open up a port, and then we can connect to that port to bind a shell to it. Shells are what we use when we interface with a command line environment. Okay, I never really, like, to me, I always conflated the terms of, like, a shell with command line environment. Command line being what we were talking about in here. Like, this is the terminal command line. We're doing we're sending commands to the system line by line. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So I would always use terminal, command line, and shell kind of interchangeably, but clearly that's not exactly accurate. They're related, but it's not accurate. So shell is just like the interface for the command line of the system that you're working with. That's good to know. And then reverse shell is when the server, we force the server to send us command line access to the server that way. Or a bind shell is when we're connected via a port on the target server. Okay, cool. All right, aside from the tools we've already covered, there are some repositories of shells in many different languages. One of the most prominent of these is Payload's All the Things. The Pentest Monkey reverse shell cheat sheet is also commonly used. Okay, these are good things to maybe like keep track of here. Okay, let's open that up in a new tab. This is Web Archive. Content of this has been moved to this internal all the things. Oh, okay. On that. There we go. We got all the things. Reverse shell cheat sheet. Oops. Zoomed into too much there. In addition to these online resources, Kali Linux also comes pre-installed with a variety of web shells located at user share web shells. Okay. The seclist repo, though primarily used for word lists, also contains some very useful code for containing shells. Okay. We read the above. Complete. Types of shell. Why did it jump so much? Oh, okay. At a high level, we are interested in two kinds of shells. Typo there. When it comes to exploiting the target. Reverse shells and bind shells. Reverse shells are when the target is forced to execute code that connects back to your computer. On your own computer, you would use one of the tools mentioned in the previous to set up as a listener, which would be used to receive the connection. They're a good way to bypass firewall rules that may prevent you from connecting arbitrary ports on the target. However, the drawback is that when receiving a shell from a machine across the internet, you would need to configure your own network to accept the shell. This, however, will not be a problem on the TryHackMe network due to the method by which, And then bind shells are when the code executed on the target is used to start a listener attached to a shell directly on the target. This would then be opened up to the internet, meaning you can connect to the port that the code has opened and obtain remote code execution that way. Okay. It has the advantage of not requiring any configuration on your own network, but may be prevented by firewalls protecting the target. Okay. As a general rule, reverse shells are easier to execute and debug. However, we will cover both examples below. Don't worry too much about the syntax here. We'll be looking at it in upcoming tests. Instead, notice the difference between reverse and bind shells in the following simulations. All right, so a reverse shell example. Let's start with a more common reverse shell. 9 times out of 10, this is what you'll be going for, especially in CTF challenges like those of TryHackMe. Take a look at the following image. On the left, we have a reverse shell listener, which is what we did in that previous module. And on the right is a simulation of sending a reverse shell. In reality, this is more likely to be done through code injection on a remote website or something along those lines. Picture the image on the left as being your own computer and the image on the right as being the target. Okay. Notice that after running the command on the right, the listener which is on the left, receives a connection. Then the whoami command is run. We see that we are executing commands as the target user now. Okay. This all makes sense. A bind one. Okay. So, once again, take a look at the following image. Again, on the left, we have the attacker's computer. On the right, we have the simulated target. Just to shake things up a little, we'll use a Windows target this time. First, we start a listener on the target, which is this evil WinRM. Telling it to execute command.exe. Yes. Okay. Then, with the listener up and running, we connect from our own machine to the newly opened port. On port 8080, I guess? Yep. Okay. So netcat that IP port 8080. This is the perfect room for Clarkio's reading. Oh, yep. May says, I look up how to pronounce meter preter and listen to how they say it, lol. What do you mean? Really says, I wasn't saying to shush, by the way. That was just for I got you, yeah. Oh, I didn't read those other messages. Metasploit framework? Oh, that's why it's MSF, Metasploit framework, Venom. Okay. MSF Venom. That makes more sense than Miss F Venom. Meter preter? MSF Venom. Got it. All right, the final concept, which is relevant in this test, is that of interactivity. Shells can be either interactive or non-interactive. Interactive, if you use PowerShell, Bash, Z Shell, ZSH, or any other standard CLI environment, then you will be used to interactive shells. Yes. These allow you to interact with programs after executing them. For example, take the SSH login prompt. Here you can see that it's asking interactivity. The user type either yes or no. Yeah, okay, got it. Non-interactive shells don't give you that luxury. You're limited to using programs which do not require user interaction in order to run properly. I don't think I've ever run into that. Okay, so like WhomI works, but SSH doesn't. Okay, got it. Which type of shell connects back to a listening port on your computer? Reverse, R, or bind? R. Correct. You have injected malicious shellcode into a website. Is the shell you receive likely to be interactive? Yes or no? I would say no, right? Yeah. When using bind shell, would you execute a listener on the attacker or the target? Target. Oh yeah, we're learning. Netcat now. Okay. What? What is with the scrolling on this? As mentioned previously, Netcat is the most basic tool of Pentester. With it, we can do a wide variety of interesting things, but let's focus for now on shells. In the previous test, we saw that reverse shells require shell code and a listener. There are many ways to execute a shell, so we'll start by looking at listeners. The syntax of starting a Netcat listener using link is this: netcat nc-lnvnp, and then the port number. L is used to tell Netcat that this will be a listener. Okay. V is used to request a verbose output. Okay. N tells Netcat not to resolve host names or use DNS. Explaining this is out with the scope. Out of the scope of this room. I guess that's why you can tell it like go specifically to an IP address instead of trying to find a host name or DNS. And then P indicates the port specification will follow. Okay. Realistically, you could use any port you like as long as there isn't already a service running on it, right? All right, we can then connect back to this bind shells. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, which tells Netcat to listen? L. -L. Correct. How would you... Machine expiring soon. That's okay. How would you connect to a bind shell on the IP address? A bind shell? Yeah, so we'd say netcat 10.10.10.11-P. Oh no, we don't need to do hyphen, we just do 88. We do pass in like that, 8080. Nice. Okay. Thank you for the follow, Tony Loves Tech. Welcome in, happy to have you here. All right, moving on to the next one. Let's collapse this first, maybe. There we go. That makes it a little bit better. It's not as jarring. Okay, so we've caught or connected to a netcat shell. What next? They're unstable by default. Like pressing. I learned that the hard way. Pressing Control C kills the whole thing. I'm back. How's it going? It's going good, Haircut Fish. I decided to switch it up and go to the Intro to Shells module or room on TryHackMe first to get this bad boy working. Strange formatting errors. This is due to netcat shells really being processes, not running inside a terminal rather than being a bona fide terminal in their own right. All right, so technique one. The first technique we will be using is applicable only to Linux boxes, as they are nearly always have Python installed. I think most operating systems nowadays have Python installed by default, right? Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. Maybe there's certain distributions of Linux that don't, but yeah, for the most part. First thing to use is Python C import pty, pty.spawn, which uses Python to spawn a better featured bash shell. Note that some targets may need the version of Python specified, like Python 2 or 3. At this point, our shell will look a bit prettier, but we still won't be able to use tab autocomplete and arrow keys. Yeah. Step 2 is export term equals xterm. This will give us access to terminal commands such as clear. Oh, okay. I was wondering why that wasn't working earlier. And then finally, and most importantly, will be background. We will background the shell using Control Z. Back in our own terminal, we use that. Echo FG. This does two things. First, it turns off our own terminal echo, which gives us access to tab autocompletion. It then foregrounds the shell, thus completing the process. Okay. So sudo netcat listen on that 443. Export xterm. Export term xterm. Gotcha. The shell dies. Any input in your own terminal will not be visible. To fix this, type reset and press enter. Okay. Then there's RL wrap, is a program which in simple terms gives us access to history, tab autocompletion, I'm not worried about that kind of stuff. I don't mind writing it all out right now, especially, so here's the thing, little note for this. Fixit says, this is why you couldn't do sudo -l, your shell was not interactive. Okay, fair enough. I missed that message earlier. So note here, what was I going to say? When learning stuff like this, like flipping it back to developer only, not like we're taking our attacker hats off, our cybersecurity practitioner hats off, and we're going back into developer mode. People come in all the time asking like, oh, how do I get started as a developer? All this stuff to like learn it. I really like, it's really nice to have things like auto completions and AI tools even to like support you in your learning. However, it kind of puts you a little bit at a disadvantage because, well, it's like an advantage because you'll learn quicker, but the disadvantage is like it's not really like going to become muscle memory for you if you're not manually typing stuff out yourself. So starting out, when I'm learning something new, like what we're doing right now, I'd rather not have auto completions for the terminal and instead handwrite stuff, even though it takes longer and it's a bit frustrating. I'd rather handwrite the stuff so that it becomes more muscle memory, and it gets kind of, especially for me, where my like I don't have the best memory. Like I forget simplest things, like what I ate last. I mean, I just ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I know that because I just ate it. But like you asked me what I ate for lunch yesterday, I'm not gonna remember, type of thing. You know what I mean? So the more I manually type things out, or the more I handwrite things, the more likely I'm reinforcing that learning in my memory, in my mind, and it'll that way. Because if I just use auto completions all the time, then I'm just letting it kind of remember for me, right? So I highly advise people that are just starting out and in that learning phase to not use auto completion type of things, and turn those off until you feel really comfortable, like you've really memorized this stuff and it becomes second nature, and then you turn auto completions on so that it's just faster, right? So you don't have to actually do all the typing. So Fixit says, agree, I do that too to learn better. Yeah, it's awesome to hear. Haircut, I usually type it out the first couple of times to help it stick. Yes, glad it's cool to hear other people are in the same boat. So while it's going into all this about, and I'm sure it's helpful for people that are more advanced and understand stuff and need to move more quickly, or maybe that's like your job and you've done this stuff so much you know what you're doing already. Auto completion is probably great at that, but I don't need it right now. Tab completion is good when you already know what you're looking for and don't want to type it. Yeah, exactly. So RL wrap is a program in which, in simple terms, gives us access to history. I'm not worried about that. We're going to skip over this. All right, technique 3, SOCAT. Third easy way to stabilize a shell is quite simply to use initial netcat shell as a stepping stone into a more fully featured SOCAT shell. Bear in mind that this technique is limited to Linux targets. Yep, fair enough. So basically, you set up an HTTP server and then use that to download SOCAT and get onto the machine. Like if it's not already on the machine, right? That's what they're going to step through here. So you start off with netcat and then use netcat to get access to SOCAT if it's not already there. You install it on the system if that's possible. With any of these techniques, it's useful to be able to change your terminal to TTY size. What's TTY? TTY size. This is something that your terminal will do automatically when using regular shell. However, it must be done manually in reverse shell to use something like text editor, which overrides everything on the screen. Oh, that's probably why when I was in like trying to VI and edit a file, we would see it kind of overlapped itself on things, right? First, open another terminal and run stty-a. This will give you a large stream of output. Note down the values for rows and columns. Oh, okay. Next, in your reverse shell, type in that, the rows and columns. Filling in the numbers you got from running the command in your own terminal. This will change the registered width and height of the terminal, thus allowing programs such as text editors, which rely on such information, being accurate. Okay, fair enough. I think that's what it was, right? Haircut says tab completion is good when you already know what you're looking for. And I already read that. My bad. All right, so how would you change the terminal size to have 238 columns? stty calls 238. 8. Enter. What is the syntax for setting up a Python 3 web server on port 80? I don't remember that one. Sudo Python 3 -m, which is the module HTTP server 80. Sudo Python 3 -m http.server port 80. Yeah. All right, let's minimize that one. We are chugging along. I'm learning some stuff along the way. Dang, there's a lot of tasks. SOCAT. Okay, SOCAT TCP-L port, and then that. A listening port and a standard input and connecting them together. Resulting shell is unstable, but this will work on either Linux or Windows and is equivalent to NC listen verbose. What does N stand for again? Oh, right, IP address instead of host name, and then port. On Windows, we would use this command to connect back. SOCAT TCP local IP local port execute PowerShell pipes. The pipes option, I was just gonna say pipes is new, is used to force PowerShell or command it to use Unix style standard input and output. Gotcha. Bind shells. Now let's take a look at one of the more powerful uses for SOCAT, a fully stable Linux TTY. I'm gonna say TTV, like Twitch TV. Reverse shell. This will only work when the target is Linux, but is significantly more stable. Incredibly versatile tool, however, the following technique is perhaps one of the most useful applications. Here's the listener syntax. Haircut says when you click on the next task, it will auto-collapse the other. Oh, it jumps around so much. Fixit says, here's my start notes for Linux if you're interested. I appreciate that. I see the format is odd here, though, since it's an Obsidian MD. Yep, gotcha. Appreciate you sharing that, Fixit. All right, let's break this down. SOCAT, TCP connection to the attacker IP, host, and port. We're going to execute bash shell, li. Second part of the command creates an interactive shell. Isn't it usually IT? Or maybe I'm thinking of Docker. Usually do like Docker run -IT to make it interactive. Interactive bash shell with li. We're also passing the arguments PTY, standard error, signal interrupt, set SID, and saint. PTY allocates a pseudo meter preater on the target, part of the stabilization. What? Stabilization process. That should be a Z, not an S. Just saying. Standard error makes sure that any error messages get shown in the shell. Often a problem with non-interactive shells. Yep. SIGINT passes any control C commands through. Okay. Set SID creates the process in a new session. Okay. Insane stabilizes the terminal attempting to normalize it. That's very vague in general. I don't know. That's a lot to take in, so let's see it in action. All right, how would we get SoCal to listen on TCP port 8080? Well, what's the attacker IP? We need to know the attacker IP first, and then but it would be sudo socat tcp-l 8080. Nope. They just want that. I don't know what the host is. IP address. Could be the British version of the word. Yeah, I know. I'm just poking fun at it. You'll see that a lot on THM since it's based out of Britain. You know, paying bills is a lot less stressful when I have a job. For sure, Fractard. For sure. For sure. Oh, wait. Here we go. I skimmed over this too quickly, I guess. As always with SoCat. Syntax for SoCat gets a lot harder. What's the -L? So I do TCP-L : port. I guess that's what they want. Yeah. TCP-L : port. So use TCP protocol to listen on port 8080 for the host that you're currently on. Okay. It's a listener. Yeah, yep. All right, let's see. If I click this, see what happens? Because it collapsed the other one, it's so jarring how far. It's almost better that I collapse that section first and then click open the next one, you know? All right, SoCat encrypted shells. One of the many great things about SoCat is that it's capable of creating encrypted shells in both bind and reverse. Okay. So why would we want to do this? Encrypted shells cannot be spied on unless you have a decryption key and are often able to bypass an IDS, intrusion detection system, as a result. We covered how to create basic shells in the previous test, so that syntax will not be covered again. Suffice to say that anytime TCP was used as part of the command, this should be replaced with OpenSSL when working with encrypted shells. We'll cover a few examples at the end of this task, but first let's talk about certificates. I'm familiar with certificates. That's okay. We need to generate a certificate in order to use encrypted shells. The easiest is do on our attacking machine. I'm familiar with that. I don't remember exactly what it does, but this is something that I always look up. I don't feel the need to remember this, because it's something I can always look up. I've done it several times. Probably dozens of times over the lifetime of my career to create like a self-signed certificate for a server doing local development and getting HTTPS in my browser to test out that, you know. This command creates the 20. We're not gonna break it down. Listener using our generated certificate. So yeah, you just point the cert to the PEM file after you create it. Yeah. Fair enough, fair enough. All right. What is the syntax for setting up an OpenSL listener using the TTY technique from the previous task? Use port 53 and a PEM called encrypt.pem. I don't want to remember typing all that. So instead of... All right, syntax setting up a listener. We're going to say SOCAT open SSL -L colon port 53 comma cert equals encrypt.pem. Ah, I was wrong. Do we not? We don't want a listener? It says listen, right? Yeah, it says listener. Oh, because it's listen, not L like the other one. So you gotta type out listen. That's still wrong. Okay. SOCAT open SSL -listen port cert. Well, we need the verify 0 piece. What is that doing? To set this up, listener using our generated certificate, verify equals 0 tells the connection not to bother trying to validate it. Oh, okay. By a recognized authority. So what they mean by authority is like there are basically like known certificate authorities that generate certificates. Think of like why am I blanking? The free encrypt. Let's Encrypt. Let's Encrypt is like a newer certificate authority, or maybe I think Google is considered a certificate authority, or some of the other ones that are out there, right? So that's what that means. Please note that the certificate must be used on whichever device is listening. Okay. What's the hyphen afterwards for then? Do I need that? Let's say comma verify equals 0. Still not right. Do I need this? Oh, wow. I'm completely off. What's the format they got here? And then comma. There's another colon in there? What am I missing? Execute bin bash? It's telling me to do listener. Oh, execute command. No. Execute command pipes? Does it say a Windows machine? No. You had spaces after your commas, did I? Oh, okay. Well, the other aspect of that though is like if you look at the placeholder text here, so it's like colon. So there's another set of colon, like it's space, then another set of colons. So it's probably doing this execute one, but it's saying like we just want a listener. Why would there be more to that? Unless they're saying this. This is to connect back to it. So this is on the target machine, right? Or no, sorry. This is on the attacker machine, and then this is on the target machine to connect back to the attacker. Right, like this. Why is it telling me that I need like? It's probably telling me I need that. That doesn't make any sense. Because OpenSSL listener should be happening on the. Might be just off a little bit. We need this. All right, what's the hint? The syntax for this without the OpenSSL encryption is SOCAL file TTY raw echo 0. Oh, using the TTY technique. That's why. We gotta go back and look at the TTY stuff again. So we want to execute TTY. Gosh, it jumps around so much. TTY.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Steve Kyle.
What in the Mr. Robot? What's up, Steve Kyle? Good to see you, buddy. We want to execute. Oh, should we put those backticks in there like that? I don't think so. Raw echo equals 0. TTY raw echo equals 0. Execute TTY, comma raw, comma. Oh shit! What was it? Echo equals 0. It's like that, but with the SOCAT syntax. So we're gonna do TTY, comma raw, and then comma echo equals 0. No, okay. LOL, what? LOL, what? Sean says, uh-oh, go microwave your RAM, Steve. Oh, that's why you're saying LOL. That's something they actually do in Mr. Robot when they think are about to be busted. I got you, yep. Do I need to put back ticks around it? Oh, that's the wrong thing. There we go. I was just missing the back ticks on it, so I was on the right path. So SOCAT OpenSSL listen on port 53 using the encrypt PEM to create for the cert, and don't verify the certificate authority of that. And then we want it to execute the file TTY and have it echo back results. All right. If your IP is 10.10.10.5, what syntax would you use to connect back to this listener? All right. So to connect back, it's gonna be this one. Pop that in. Oh wait, there's more to it though. Look at the answer format here. We got SOCAT OpenSSL listen colon the port. It's colon the IP the port. The cert again. Verify equals 0. Why is there so much here? Maybe, because the execute. We want to execute TTY again. This case. We want to do this. We're learning. Copy pasting, but does this match? So there's 2 colons, a bunch of commas, spaces. So we're gonna say 10.10.10.5 port 53. We gotta do the cert equals encrypt PEM verify equals 0. I think, do we want bash? What's wrong? What's the hint on this? Syntax for this without the OpenSSL encryption is SOCAT TCP execute bash. I'm on the right track. I'm just slightly off, I think, here. Oh, because it's TCP. We need open SSL. Shit, what was it again? Local IP, local port, comma, verify equals 0, execute / bin bash. Am I getting closer? The IP, the port, SOCAT OpenSSL, SOCAT OpenSSL, IP port verify equals 0. Oh, I guess I don't need that cert, right? Just verify because we're connecting. I use the cert on this machine. I feel like I'm getting closer. Colon IP colon port. Colon IP colon port. Comma verify equals 0. Execute bin bash. Or no, it would be TTY, right? And then what's all those commas at the end here? Why would the cert be on the machine? You're right. Exactly, Sean. Good call. So I think this is going to be execute TTY like that. Oops. And then it's saying there's a space. I'm cheating a little bit by looking at the placeholders, you know? Space, comma, chameleon. Let's look at the hint again, actually. Is it just those? Why would you put a space after that, though? I don't know what it would be. I feel like that's correct. I'm probably just slightly off. VERIFY equals 0. EXEC colon backtick TTY backtick space. Maybe it's the hyphen. Do hyphen. PTY. No. I thought that'd be right. These are like your arguments you want to pass in, right? What syntax would you use to connect back to the listener? Do I do it a different port maybe? Is that part of the problem? No, it's a 2-digit port. That's correct. So cat open SSL, IP address, port, verify equals 0, execute TTY, and then I just gotta figure out this ending. And I think I got it. Would it be that? No. It's not for a bind shell, right? What was the hint again? When we connect to this, right, like that. What am I missing, chat? Anybody noticed it yet? Spotted it? Feel free to backseat, I don't mind. What am I getting wrong? To connect back, socat execute, not bin bash, because we're gonna execute TTY, right? Or do I want to execute bin bash? No, because the asterisks seem to be like, what is it? I just need to get this last part. I don't know what that is. It's all the different options. 4, 3, 6 characters. I look at the hint. There's the 3, PTY, 6, 6 again. Yes. 6 again, and then sane. So I need those. I think you're missing some ligma. Oh, what's ligma? There's something coming before. There's something that's 4 letters before the PTY. I don't see it anywhere else, though. See, look at that. It's like, oh, that's the space right there. So we want dash space hyphen li 1 2 3 4. We want that. Let's try that one. I think that's what I'm missing. Oh no, I lost everything. Okay. That's what we want. Like that. I think this is it. Yes! Okay. All right, so I was cheating a little bit, I'll admit. So let's read this to understand what we're doing. So we're connecting back. We're creating this listener on the target server using TTY to spin up the shell, right? Make sure I'm right on that. Go back. Where's TTY? Yeah. A fully stable Linux TTY reverse shell. I don't know what TTY is again. We learned that earlier. I don't remember what it was, but it's like it's software on Linux, which makes it more stable for us by using the TTY file. All right. On the port designated for DNS. Look, you got it. Yep. Do you want help? All right. Thank you. Fix it for offer. Oh no. Where was I? No, where am I? Oh, comment. We gotta go back to this. I'm trying to learn. Before I move on, being that I kind of cheated, I want to make sure I understand what's going on. So we're using TTY software to set up a more stable reverse shell on the target system. Okay. And then on the attacker system to connect back to that reverse shell. No. This is a bind shell, rather. Let me get that correct. It's not a reverse shell. Reverse shell is if the listener was on the attacker system and we got the target to connect to us. But in this case, we get the target to spin up something that's listening for us to connect to as from the attacker machine. I'm learning. See, implying my learnings already. Now, right here, SOCAT is going to establish this bind shell by, and this is using a secure, or what is it, encrypted shell? Encrypted shell. That's the right term. Encrypted shell. Encrypted bind shell back to the target. Don't verify the certificate. We don't give a hoot about that. We're going to execute bash li pty. I forget what that stands. These are like all options to say like, hey, enable, like, again, more stable shell. And typical stuff, like if you were working on your own machine, essentially the way I look at it is these are all things, these are options that you want to turn on when connecting here to this other shell that you would normally get on your, when you're trying to execute these commands in your own shell on your own machine. That's the way I kind of grok it. Everybody with me? Is this to become Gandalf? Yeah. All right, moving on to task number 8. Common shell payloads. I'll give you a payload. Thank you, fix it. All right, we'll soon be looking at generating payloads with MSF Venom. Because the F makes me want to say phenom, you know what I mean? Like, but Metasploit framework, right? Venom. But before we do that, let's take a look at some common payloads using the tools we've already covered. The previous task mentioned that we we'd be looking at some ways to use Netcat as a listener for a bind shell, so we'll start with that. In some versions of Netcat, including NC, Windows version, included with the Kali at user bin share Windows binaries. And the version used in Kali itself, Netcat Traditional, there is a -E option, which allows you to execute a process on connection. Ooh. For example, as a listener, we can say Netcat listen verbose, ignore namespaces, and use this port, that value, and then immediately run bin bash. Open up the bash shell inside there. Connecting to the above listener with Netcat would result in a bind shell on the target. Equally, for a reverse shell, connecting back with NC local IP port bin bash would result in a reverse shell on the target. However, this is not included in most versions of Netcat, as it is widely seen to be very insecure. Funny, huh? On Windows, where a static binary is nearly always required anyway, this technique will work perfectly. On Linux, however, we would instead use this code to create a listener for a bind shell. What in the fudge-sickles is this monstrosity? MFR IOFO tempf Netcat. What the fudge? Tempf pipe bin shell greater than tempf RMF tempf. The following paragraph is the technique explanation for this command. Oh, good. It's slightly above the level of this room. You think? So don't worry if it doesn't make much sense for now. Not really, yeah. All right, so it first creates a named pipe at temp F. F this. F's in chat. It then starts a Netcat listener and connects the input of the listener to the output of the named pipe. Okay. Output. So greater than that puts it to the output of that. The output of Netcat listener, the commands we send, then gets piped directly into shell. SH. Sending the standard output stream into standard out. Sending studded out itself into the input of the named pipe, thus completing the circle. Yeah, the circle of life. A very similar command can be used to send a Netcat reverse shell. All right, my brain's turning to mush from this now. This is another situation where we went from like 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. I was following along up until this task. We're getting way, way beyond my skill level right now and knowledge. Like, what the frick? Who's writing all this? Who's typing all this out? Is this where you use tab completions to sort it out? This has got to be, right? There's no way somebody's memorizing all that. Shnikes. I say no way, but there's probably people that do, right? What's up, Cypher Enigma? Welcome in. Have you bumped into Explain Shell? No, I don't think so. What's that, Cypher Enigma? What's Explain Shell? Is that like a service where you can paste this in and it explains what it's doing? So that sounds nifty. In order to use this, we need... It is? Okay. We need to replace IP and port with an appropriate IP. In choice of port, it can then be copied into a command shell. Bada bing, bada boom. Explainshell.com. All right, thank you. Appreciate that. For other common reverse shell payloads, payload all the things is a repository command in it. All right, what command can be used to create a named pipe in Linux? It was right here. McFIFO. Right? Or just MK FIFO. Booyah, I didn't even need a hint on that one. Look through the linked payloads. All the things reverse shell cheat sheet and familiarize yourself with the languages available. Okay, sure. I did that. You all saw it, right, chat? I did it. There's also chat GPT. GPAT. Oh, we're getting into the Venom now. Collapse. Expand. All right, the Venom, the one-stop shop for all things payload related. Part of the Metasploit framework, Miss Venom is used to generate code for primarily reverse and bind shells. It's used extensively in lower-level exploit development to generate hexadecimal shell code. That's a mouthful right there. When developing something like a buffer overflow exploit. However, they can also be used to generate payloads in various formats. EXE, ASPX. Anybody know what that is? As a little, imagine that's a little Windows.NET, War, Java, Python, Windows executable. Jack, you want me to drink? Thank you, Jack. Cheers. Here's some water. Appreciate that, Jack. I did need a little... My mouth was getting a little dry there, all the chatting. Fix it 42. You put it in a file and forget everything but the path. Cypher Enigma says it chunks out the commands with the man pages. Gotcha. Okay. That's good to have. Thank you. I was not aware of that. I appreciate the info. It's the latter function that we will be making use of in this room. There is more to teach about Miss Venom than could ever be fit into a single room, let alone a single test. So the following information will be a brief introduction. All right, Miss Venom -P instead of port, it's for payload now, and then options. So for example, to generate a Windows x64 reverse shell in an exe format, we could use... Okay, and then what does that do? Okay, so then you save that, and then you somehow get that file to execute on the target system. Is that what happens? So MS Venom creates the reverse shell file to execute based on the target environment you're going after. Windows, Linux, whatever, basically whatever kind of executable, runnable things that you can trigger on the remote machine. So in our case, last time it was PHP, right? Here we're using a payload and 4 options. Format specifies the output format, which was exe. Oh, the output location and file name of the generated payload, shell.exe. Cool. Host specifies the IP to connect back to. When using TryHackMe, this is your attacker IP address. You cannot load the link when you are not connected to the VPN. Yep. And then L port, the port on the local machine to connect back to. Oh, wait. This is the 10.10.10 IP address. The host. This would be the target. And then this is the attacker machine. The port on the... Okay, got it. Stage versus stageless. Before we go any further, there are another 2 concepts which we must be introduced. There's so many concepts to be introduced to as part of this. Staged reverse shell payloads and stageless. Stage payloads are sent in 2 parts. The first part is called the stager. This is a piece of code which is executed directly on the server itself. It connects back to a waiting listener, but doesn't actually contain any reverse shell code by itself. Instead, it connects to the listener and uses the connection to load the real payload, executing it directly and preventing it from touching the disk where it could be caught by traditional Oh, okay, that's interesting to learn. There's little ways to bypass detection, huh? Thus, the payload is split into 2 pots. A small initial stager, I want to say stagger for some reason, then the bulkier reverse shell code, which is downloaded when the stager is activated. So I guess a way to detect that though, right, is like if somebody does an initial connection, and then if you're just watching like network traffic, right, on your machine, you could potentially see when that happens, no? Because you'll see them downloading the larger, bulkier reverse shell code to your system all of a sudden. Isn't that how that one guy... Oh my gosh, the PDF... Was it PDF.js? No, it was a vulnerability not too long ago, a few months ago. Some dude was tinkering around and he was just looking at the performance of things, and he's like, wait a minute, this thing is downloading way more than needs to be for some reason. And that's like a bottleneck for... Oh my gosh, what was it, chat? Does anybody know? I don't think it was the PDF.js one, was it? The XZ one? Was it the XZ one? Yeah. That was like huge. It was widespread. Affecting all it was like, oh, that's what you're right. You're right. Cypher Enigma. It was the one where it was like a tool, an open source tool that's built into Linux. Some malicious actor was like adding something else into it, right? A Microsoft engineer that caught a very small variance. Yes, that's the one. You're right. So I feel like that's how something like this would be kind of detected, right? Where you'd see if you're monitoring network traffic, at least on your system. Dependency thing, yeah. Yep. It was just a few milliseconds. Yeah, you're right. It was very small, which was crazy that they caught it. But thank goodness they did. All right, stageless payloads are more common. These are what we've been using up until now. They're entirely self-contained, and that there's one piece of code which, when executed, sends a shell back immediately to the waiting listener. Okay, cool. Stageless tends to be easier to use and catch, though. However, they are also bulkier and are easier for an antivirus or intrusion detection program to discover and remove. There we are, meter preter. Meter preter. Meter preter. I don't know of any other way you should say it. Metapreter. On the subject of Metasploit, another important thing to discuss is meter preter shell. They're Metasploit's own brand of fully featured shell. They're completely stable, making them a very good thing when working with Windows targets. They also have a lot of inbuilt... I don't like that word. I like built-in better. Inbuilt. Anybody else with me on that? Welcome back, Royalisi. Inbuilt. I like built-in better.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, B7H30.
What's up, B7? Happy to have you here, first-time chatter. May says, Google how to pronounce meter preter. It's funny. What's up, Bro Heart? Yeah, built-in, please. I know, I'm with you. I'm glad I'm not alone. Thank you, Bro Heart, and welcome in. Or at least it says, same here. Inbuilt feels hella weird. It just sounds weird to say. I know it. I believe it is a legit word, right? I've seen a lot of people use it before. Completely stable. B7, right on. I go by Theo. Fixit brought me. Oh, well, welcome, Theo. And thank you for Fixit for bringing a friend. Cracker says, all right, Clarkio. I've got to get some work done before end of day. Have a good weekend, friends. All right, Frackback. Appreciate you hanging out, buddy. Good luck with the rest of the work. Have a good rest of your Friday and weekend if I don't see you. Oh, Royalisa, you know Theo as well. Nice. Well, appreciate you being here. All right. Meter preter shells are Metasploit's own. I read that already. They're completely stable. That's nice, right? They also have a lot of inbuilt functionality of their own, such as file uploads and downloads. If we want to use any of the Metasploit's post-exploitation tools, then we need to use meter preter. All right, all right, so those of you that are more familiar with this, I do want to do what May is saying, is to look up the pronunciation of meter preter. But how do you all that are familiar with this tool, how do you pronounce it? Like phonetically spell it out. Like interpreter? Yeah, meter preter. Meterpreter. Meterpreter? Oh, so instead of meter preter, you're saying meterpreter. Meterpreter. Meterpreter? Because of Metasploit? Is that why? Because you're saying meta, so you're saying meterpreter. I like meter preter better. All right, anyway, I'm getting hung up on that. The downside of meterpreter shells is that they must be caught in Metasploit. Okay. Payload naming conventions. Oh, wow. You even have... Wait a minute. In offensive security, you have payload naming conventions? Isn't that like a no-no? You like, wouldn't that help you get detected? If it's a known convention, naming convention? When working with Miss Venom, it's important to understand how the naming system... Oh, okay. It's just for Metasploit. I got you. Okay, cool. Cool. The rule also applies to meterpreter payloads. A Windows 64-bit staged meterpreter payload would look like this. Okay. Cool. Sometimes you want the client to know you're stomping around. Oh, okay. Fix it. You prefer netcat? Yeah, what does everybody else like to use? Netcat, SoCat, Interpreter, Miss Venom. All right, generate a staged reverse shell for 64-bit Windows target in an exe format using your TryHackMe Tune I0 IP address and a chosen port. Jesus. I thank you for the follow, B7. All right, so staged is, there's two parts, right? The first part is going to be called the stager. This can be used to list all available payloads. This gives us a full set of Linux interpreter payloads for 32-bit targets. Okay. Generate a stage reverse shell. So I guess I can use interpreter. Syntax it. .64-bit Windows target. So we need like that, right? Windows 64-bit interpreter. This is covered in the task. All you need to do is substitute in your own addressed import. So MS Venom. Oh, it's right there. Just copy pasta. But let's remember it, right? So P is the payload, which is Windows 64-bit, and I guess you could just make up what you want, like shell reverse TCP. Hyphen F is the format. EXE, is that what it said to do, right? Yep, EXE format. O is the output location. We'll call it a shell exe. The host, listen IP, and the listen port. We'll do 10. I mean, we just do that IP 10.10.10.10. 4 tens. And then the port, does it say what port I need to use? And a chosen port, so it doesn't matter. Oh, no answer needed. Oh, so I'll just say complete. Which symbol is used to show that a shell is stageless? Where is that covered? They're entirely self-contained. Executed sends shell back immediately. What says it's stageless? What say you? Oh, that a payload is stageless, right? That? The parentheses stageless? Or at least you like netcat as well. B7 digging the vibe in here already. I appreciate that, B7. Net puppy cipher enigma. Okay, cool. Fixes, is there tips from when I set it up? Still on there too. I'll tag you. Oh, you're talking to each other. Okay. Stageless. Answer format, it should be just one character. Where am I missing it? Oh, stage payloads are denoted with another /. Okay, so it's just /. It's kind of hidden in there, right? That's wrong. Is it underscores then? Yep, that's what it is. Okay. So stage ones have an extra /, whereas stageless ones just have an underscore. Because like if you look at Meterpreter reverse TCP, this is stageless, where Meterpreter / reverse TCP is staged. Because it needs a folder, I guess, versus a file. All right, what command would you use to generate a stage Meterpreter reverse shell for 64-bit Linux target, assuming your own IP was that and you were listening on port that? The format for the shell is ELF, and the output file name should be shell.exe. Let's paste that in there. We want Linux, 64-bit. Format is going to be ELF. Output should be that. The IP is going to be 10.10.10.5, and the port 443. Submit. No! Got it wrong. It says Linux 64 shell. Should be TCPS. Or HTTPS, maybe? It's staged. Oh, so we need an extra / in there? No. Oh, Meterpreter, that's why. So, 64 Meterpreter reverse TCP. I think that should be doing it. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, I had it slightly wrong. I had a stageless one in there, and it was like a different one from earlier. So it was this one. I typed in Notepad for those so I could check the format. Yep. All right, we completed that one. On to test number 10, Metasploit multi/handler. Look, we're cruising. I didn't think I would get through this much. We're gonna have to end stream soon too, chat. Just a heads up. So I think we'll finish out these tasks. Oh no. There's essentially 5 more after this one. So here's what we'll do. I'll finish task 10. Then I need to eat. We'll close out with playing some words on stream together, and then fully end the stream from there. And then what we'll do is next stream we'll pick up. I might do some of this stuff off stream because I really want to go back to. All right, well, remember we're on 10. If we go back to, what was the other one that I had? Vulnerability. I want to learn enough so that next stream I can do this without, I can be ready to just do this one. This is the one where, again, if you missed it from earlier, it was a little misleading to me because I was like, okay, it's basic computer exploitation, complete beginner. So I'm thinking, oh, it's okay, I can just jump into this. But you really need to have some of the other foundational stuff around like Linux, what we're going through, the different shell stuff, to understand what's needed. Like I didn't know what SUID was before, and like this whole thing about getting access to a file on behalf of another user, that type of, like, I still don't even know how to explain it right now, to be honest. I did in the moment when we were back looking at it, but clearly it didn't stick. So I need to go back. I need to get the foundation under me. So what I might do is I might do more of this stuff off stream in terms of the the real beginner stuff. Where'd that go? Where'd it go? What the shell? Why isn't that saved? Can I save this one? Oh, that's why I didn't save the room. Let me try saving it. There we go. Because I think doing this one, and there was another one, right? There was complete beginner. Oh, I didn't even do any of those. Where was this before? Oh, my Lanta. I think I think it was maybe a little bit of user error, but a little bit of the, like, the user experience design, the UI of the site that threw me off, because I did the tutorial and then somehow I landed in here, which is only at the bottom of this entire complete beginner module or path, beginner path, this learning path. So I should have like done Linux fundamentals. I should have done network exploitation, you know what? Props though. Props that I was able to get this far into vulnerability without all of those. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'll take that as a win. I'll take that as a win. That's not too shabby. Yeah, I missed out on all the prereqs and just jumped straight into the deep end here. Holy shnikes, Batman. Yeah, press the light switch and oop, we advanced. Exactly. Read there, yeah. Read. Oh, let's go back. How do I go back? Right here. This is what I need to like. I don't know how that happened. I guess I could go back to the VOD and see. I went through the tutorial and then I just jumped into basic computer exploitation. TryHackMe recently redesigned their site. They may have sent you there. Yeah, they might have. I mean, I can go back. Last stream, I have the VOD still. I can go back and see how I landed on this module instead of going through some of these. There might have been some option that I checked off. In fact, even right now, I'm only going back one module with the shell. But this actually should be this one here. I think will help me. These two actually will probably help me with where I'm stuck on with this vulnerability one. But anyway, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, we'll go back. Let's go back to that. We'll finish task number 10, and we'll go from there. Appreciate you all hanging out though and sticking with me through this. I know it's for some of you, it's probably like super beginner and things that are like very easy to you and known. But for those of you that are, well, one, I like having people here that are that experience. It's super nice. So I appreciate you being here and like offering guidance lightly here and there without giving answers. Without giving answers, I appreciate that. And then for those of you that are more beginners like me, hopefully you're learning some of this stuff as well in that regard. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Sean, for doing those links there. Have a good weekend, Sean. You too. Royce says, you did well, to be honest. Yeah, though I remembered us looking for that we spent so much time looking for that section character. It was crazy. Meanwhile, there was a button we could just use. All right, so let's finish this test 10.
That is about to
no!
5,000 milliseconds on Twitch. There's an ad running for 9.
All right, sorry, folks that are doing the ad. But for the sake of time, I want to keep moving here. All right, multi/handler is a superb tool for catching reverse shells. It's essential if you want to use interpreter shells. Man, why I'm used to saying interpreter instead of meter feeder. And is the go-to when using stage payloads. Okay. Fortunately, it's relatively easy to use. Open Metasploit with MSF console. Type use multi/handler and press enter. We are now primed to start that session. Let's take a look at the available options using options command. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There are 3 options you need to set. Payload, localhost, listen host, listen port. These are all identical to the options we set when generating shellcode with MSF Venom. A payload specific to our target. We should now be ready to start the listener. Let's do this by using exploit-J. This tells Metasploit to launch the module running a job in the background. Very nice. So you say set payload, set lhost. So these are like environment variables almost, like you would do in development. That's cool. I'm used to that. You may have noticed that in the above screenshot, Metasploit is listening on port under 1024. Yeah, 443, right? To do this, Metasploit must be run with sudo permissions. When the stage payload generated in the previous task is run, Metasploit receives the connection, sending the remainder of the payload and giving us a reverse shell. Notice that because the multi-handler was originally backgrounded, we needed to use sessions 1 to foreground it. Okay. This worked as it was the only session running. Had there been other sessions active, we would have needed to use sessions to see all active sessions and then use session number. Okay. I wonder why you would use multiple sessions though. This number would also have been displayed in the line where the shell was opened. Okay. What command can be used to start a listener in the background? It's that exploit-J. Bada bing, bada boom. If we had just received our 10th reverse shell in the current Metasploit session, what would be the command used to foreground it? Session 10. I don't even need to look it up. Booyah. All right, we finished that one. Let's close it out. We're going to play some words on stream. This is a collaborative game that we're going to play. Get it set up right quick, and then we'll go from there. If you've never played before, it's quite fun. There are letters on the screen. There's a little example that animation that goes off there. And then you just type your answers in the chat to guess words using those letters, and the game will pick it up. If you want the mirror link, you can copy this and go directly to it, so that way you don't have to deal with the delay. If you're watching over on YouTube, you need to switch over to Twitch, so go to twitch.tv/ClarkYo so that you can participate in the game. We're going to do that while I eat the rest of my lunch, and then we will close out the stream for today. So this concludes the technical portion of the ClarkYo Shenanigans Show every Friday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Twitch TV/ClarkYo or YouTube.com/ClarkYo. And I appreciate everybody that was hanging out for that. Appreciate the experts that were here kind of helping and giving guidance. Appreciate the newbies that were listening, lurking in the background, learning along with me. I appreciate all your patience, as this is a little bit rough when somebody's starting out learning. But as we get more, if we follow along and keep improving on this journey, you're going to see me get better, my skills get better, and we're going to breeze through some of these modules at some point, right? Record level is 61. Yes, B7. The reason for that, B7, is we've had, just like you all popping in as like security pen tests, research experts. Sorry, I'm just throwing a bunch of terms out there for a second. But we've had people that are expert, like words on stream players that are part of the crew that reach those like those record breaking levels on the dedicated words on streams. B7 says, I cheat and can only get to 20. Crazy. I know. There are people, B7, there are people I learned that memorize the boards. May is kind of at that level. May, SMC May in chat, is kind of at that level where they can recognize the boards and they know, okay, the biggest word is this, and then here's all the other ones that go into that. It's crazy. It's crazy. Roy Lisi says, enjoy the next week and the weekend. It was lovely seeing you. Appreciate that, Roy Lisi. Can't be around for words on stream. I got to finish some code for a client before it hits 12. All right, Roy Lisi, good luck with that. Have a good rest of your Friday and weekend. Thanks for hanging out. Did I miss anything else in chat?
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Privan.
Hey, Pravan. Yeah, you may. I saw some repeats. What do you mean by that? And then Cypher says screenshot it. Pravan says, how's it going in here? It's going great, Pravan. Thank you for asking. How are you doing over there? I was wondering if that existed. What existed? Lurk? Oh, no, I don't have that. Oh, yeah, category change. Thank you, May. Oh, it's not working. I'll have to do it on here real quick. Done. All right, everybody ready? Let's play. You just came home from a London vacation with your partner? It was great? That's awesome to hear. Hope you feel refreshed and ready to get back into the usual routine. You've missed riding some O'Camel? Nice. Good stuff. I've heard good things about O'Camel. All right, I'm a child. I'm going to eat my second Uncrustable. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And it's actually been a long time, chat, since I've had one. So, there is that. I should write O'Camel? Well, right now I'm on this journey, Pravan, where I'm learning pen testing and some cybersecurity topics. So, maybe after that, I'll add it to my ever-growing to-do list, which I'm sure you're used to feeling as well. Fix It says, I rated you without seeing the stream title, by the way. So funny that you did cybersecurity today, and it's been a great show. Thanks. That's awesome, Fix It. Again, thank you. Shout out to you for raiding the stream. Appreciate that. Yeah, no worries. Thank you for the raid, too. And thank you for hanging out and chatting. I know it's tough. Like, when you... I'll tell you, as someone, obviously, it's, you know, two people talking the stream, I generally have been, like, leaning more towards not raiding people at the end lately because I feel bad that I can't stick around too much. I got to raid and run, so I'm like, I don't want to do that. But you, like, finishing a stream and then sticking around for my stream, that means a lot. That's super cool of you to do. Because I know you're usually, like, wiped probably after your stream, you know? Shout out to May, B7, and Releasey. Getting us to the next level. Killed. I beat you to it, May. Idle. May, you beat me to like. Fixes, but people know it's 22 here, so kind of slowing down with 2 kids, you know. Oh, I got 2 kids as well. Know that you might have to run him. Yeah. I know most people are pretty cool about it. I generally raid the same people too because they know that that's what the situation is a lot of times. So what I tend to do is I'll raid, and I usually raid like right around now. So once we finish words on stream, we'll end the stream. But then I gotta wind down from work and then help out with the kids and stuff like that. We got gymnastics and whatnot coming up this evening, so lots going on, and I'm like, I can't stick around. I'll lurk right away, but then that's it. Yeah, exactly, B7. Watch. So what's the big word, chat? Batch.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Fucheros.
Hey, Frank. What's the big word? I already tried thick. B7 didn't work. Chit. Ah, man, you beat me to it. I was like Chet, and then I was like, oh no, chit. That's the word. Shit. We did pretty good. Not too bad. Keep it rolling. End zone. Oh, there's a fake letter, though. So Z is probably fake, right? Yep, we all tried zone. Done. Not. Node. N-O-D-E. Like that. Node. Wait, fondue. F-O-N-D-U. There's 2 D's. Fondued. The D is the only one missing from fondue. There's 2 D's. Fondued. Family Feud. Fud. Befuddled. Fund. Oh man, I wish I got that in before the lock went off. Defund? Yeah, defund? Founded. Nice job, B7. Somebody do defund? Did that not? D-E-F-U-N-D. Yeah, that should. You might have been locked. That's why. No, wow. Okay, hold on. That ain't a word? Defund? Okay. It gets thrown a lot. That word gets thrown out a lot here in the US, though. It's the only time I've ever heard it. Do not... That is not your excuse to get into any political subjects. We do not talk about that on this stream. June? Is Feud? Feud? Whatever. We beat it. We reached the goal. What does it mean? Because I don't think defund is a word. It means something that is funded, you no longer fund it with, like, money. Roy Lacey. Oh, we got 2 R's. Hey, corrupt. Bada bing, bada boom. You might want to defund something if it's corrupt. I don't know. Rate suggestion if you want to keep cybersecurity theme going. Security forward. Just start a stream. Okay, cool. All right, we'll do it. Fix it. I appreciate that suggestion. We'll do it. I'll just let them know I'm going to have to raid and run, though. But I'll drop them a follow and look to tune in another time. So X is fake on this. We got corrupt. We got...
Comas says it's 3 a.m. here, so I'll have to sleep now. You guys have fun.
Oh, wow, Jack. Well, thanks for hanging out for so long. I hope you get some rest. Take care of yourself. Don't stay up that late. From one night owl to another. It's better for you to go to bed at a decent hour. I'm learning more and more about how much that's, like, hurting my health by staying up too late. Crop. Did somebody do? We got port already. Out. Crow. Coup. C-O-U-P. Oh, we need one more word, chat. One more. Is corp, C-O-R-P, gonna be one? Port. No, I guess that's not. We need one more word. Trot. Prot. Route. Nice job, Frank. Ooh, we almost lost there. Hey, Kurt. Roy Lacey at the very last second there. Noish, noish. Anytime I see noise, I think of noish, noish. Smoking doobies. What's that movie from? What's the name of that? I forget the name of the movie. Buzzer beater. Yeah, B7. Noish, noish. Who's got the blunts? We got the blunts. Rolling blunts and smoking blunts. Oh, can I get another Nickelback? Somebody do Jack? Yeah, why wouldn't Jock work? Oh, J might be fake. J is the fake letter, that's why. Nice, May. So we do casks, cocos, maybe? I don't know. Killing it this round.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today. Rap on 3.
Jeez Louise. These bots are relentless, huh? Nice. All right, one more. 5-letter word alphabetically between casks and sacks. Enunciate, pronunciate. I don't know. I have no idea. I already tried it. Like a rooster, a cock. So, anyway, level 13. Here we go. Oh, only one C. Ooh. Whoa, there's fake and hidden now. Sign. Oh, S is hidden. S is hidden. Enemies. Nice job, B7. Enemy. Does that mean B is fake? I think B is fake. Scene. Semi? Semi or semi? Eminem? Eminem? Marshall Matters? Means. Mines. Mises? Misen? Smine? There it is. I got it. Go me. Routes. Hey, that worked. R-O-U-T. T is hidden. T is hidden. We already got it. Micro? Somebody do court or courts? T is hidden, but what's the how do you type that tiramisu thing? I don't know. T is hidden at least. Out. Oh, it's all 5-letter words or more. That's part of the problem. I always miss that on this level. Unicorns. That's a good guess. Tourism. Nice job, B7. Smirt? Is that a word? No. Tours? All right, look at all the letters in tourism. nice. Smite, smit, smout, spout, smout, mouts, mist, moist. There we go. Dang it, I don't know. I think this might be it. Nice try, chat. Hey, level 16? Not too shabby. Oh yeah, Tumor would have been a good one, E7. Hey, nice job, chat. Thanks for playing. It's good. That's a pretty good one. Sometimes we don't even make it to level 16 in a stream and with multiple rounds of that. Shout out to May, B7, Roy Lisi, Frank, and Jack for playing. Appreciate your help getting us to level 16. Hope you enjoyed that. That's going to do it. Couldn't cheat fast enough. Oh, that's what you were doing, B7. Well, fair enough. All right, we're going to close it out. Big shout out again. Thank you to all of you that have tuned in, been here this far. If you have been watching the stream all along this time, well, one, you're a legend. Thank you so much for that. But two, if you haven't done so already, make sure to follow on Twitch, if you will, or if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss out on upcoming streams and content that I have. And you can get in touch with me that way. The best way to get in touch with me, rather, is via the Discord off stream. I know, listen, I know, you don't want to add to your keychain of Discord servers that you're connected to like crazy, that you probably have a bunch of them already. But I'll tell you one thing. If you're interested in staying connected with me off stream, the rest of the community playing Wordle connections on a daily basis pretty much, and you want to see other content that I'm putting out there and get updates on anything with the logistics in terms of like whether there's schedule changes or stuff like that with the stream, the Discord is the best place to get in touch with that. And I make it a point to not be noisy to you, so you choose to opt in to get notifications on things rather than everything being turned on all the time. So like, if you want to join the server, mute the entire thing except for like at here or at everyone, because that's like rarely, in fact it's never used. It's only at roles that I use in the server for the roles that you choose to opt into. So just a heads up on that. I take it seriously in the sense of like I take your attention and like your trying not to be a distraction to you. That's what the best way I can describe it. I'm being thoughtful in that is what I'm getting at. Anyway, hope you have a good rest of your Friday and weekend. We're gonna go raid who was it again? Fix it. It was Security Forward, FWD, right? We're gonna go raid. If you're on Twitch, stick around for that. We're gonna go raid Security Forward to keep along with the cybersecurity theme that we had going on today. And I will be back next week. So double check on logistics wise. We'll be back September 20th, Friday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. Same place, wherever you tune in. If it's on YouTube or if it's on YouTube or Twitch, whichever you prefer. We'd love to have you back next week. We'll continue that journey and do more of these tests on TryHackMe. All right. Thanks again, everybody. Hope you have a good rest of your Friday and weekend. I will see you next time, and stick around for the raid if you're on Twitch. Peace out.